Hey everybody, happy Friday. Welcome aboard. Yes, Jeff, I the Tiger is right. It's uh it's time to get serious. That's actually going to be a thumbnail on an upcoming video I'm making. It'll release on Sunday on my YouTube channel. But yeah, it's time to get serious. I the Tiger. Hey Jeff. Hey Puddings Postcards. What's going on, man? Good to see you. Welcome aboard, everybody. We do have a listing show on tap for this evening. I think you saw it in the. Hey Steven, how you doing? Welcome. I kind of teased to list or not to list. That is a question. I think the answer is definitely to list in general to help things move along. How's everyone doing? How was your week on eBay? How was your week at home? Start off with some thoughts and ideas, changes as far as my eBay stuff. I'll talk a lot about this when we get some more people in, but really what I've been doing all week is long story short, I had a terrible week on eBay, like probably one of the worst I've ever had. So again, rather than predictably, blame eBay, blame this, blame that, I said, it's time for some introspection. What's going on? What's different? And I think really, and I was speaking to several people that I follow and friends of mine here on YouTube and in the community. And long story short, I think that I am too heavily vested in long tail in my store. I have a little over almost 3,100 listings right now active. Out of that, I mean, 2,300 are ads, print ads. And print ads are wonderful. Print ads have one of the highest return on investments I could think of. Again, when you quantify it, I'm spending maybe a nickel or less on an ad, making 15, 30, 20, 10 bucks per ad. So it's a tremendous ROI. However, they tend to have a long shelf life. They'll sit there for a period, And I always preach about volume. If I had, I have, let's say 2,300 live. If I had 20,000 ads live, I would still probably, even though they tend to be long tail, I'd probably sell a whole bunch, even on down weeks, because just based on the volume that I have up there. But that's my analysis that I did, because it was doing some internal, like I said, soul searching and all that. Like, what have I done? What's wrong? Why have things just tanked like this? And really, I think that comes down to what I said. I'm too heavily vested in long tail. So my new strategy going forward was to do things with these long tail items. And what I did is the simplest thing that everybody usually does. I did a markdown sale. I started last night. I dropped it by 33%, which is probably the biggest I've ever done on all of the print ads. I started that, and I have it titled something like, end of summer blowout or whatever silly tagline I used. And I ran it. This is also atypical. I usually do a sale for just a weekend. This one's running all the way through Labor Day weekend, which is only, 2 weeks away or so? Maybe less, I forgot. But anyway, I'm going to try to run it with that 33% off, which is a significant sale. But truth be told, they're marked up so high that even at the 33% down, I'm still making, money hand over fist on them. And my hope was that it just starts churning and creating activity within the store in general. So the good news is, like right away, within a couple of hours, I did have a couple of quick sales on the print ads. That was very encouraging. The traffic increased. So I have that as part one of the equation. Part two is I'm going to start consciously listing, aside from tonight, of course, we're going to list some print ads, but I'm going to start listing and sourcing and searching for some more quick turnaround items just to keep the income stream coming in, knowing that I have print ads till the cows come home. I have, I've said it, 100 or 200,000 potentially, that I could cut up. I brought out the big guns, literally and figuratively, tonight for the listing show. We've talked many, many times about World War II era ads being my favorite. I found a beautiful magazine today that I didn't even realize I had. I was just searching like I always do before a show. Like, what can I list tonight? Had a Saturday Evening Post from 1943. It's October. This thing is just chock full of amazing World War II era ads. So we'll take a look at some of those tonight and get them listed. But yeah, that's really the quick version. There's no reason to go for it, to just whine for 45 minutes. But terrible week in sales. And I think it really just comes down to combination of all the usual suspects about summertime, blah, 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 blah. What is eBay doing to us? Blah, 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 blah. I'm too heavily vested in long tail. And I don't have enough volume to justify that. Like I said, if I had tenfold the volume I have, I'm sure I'd be doing great even when things were low. So that's my analysis. Let me know if you guys agree. You try to tail them on. Nice. Absolutely. We're talking guitars here, Puddings. You got to go Martin at the end of the day, but a tail is a beautiful thing. Hey, Jimmy Buys, how you doing? Yeah, sorry to say that, Steven. I'm sorry. You as well with the lousy week? You have to do quantity is the downside. If you have these long tail, yeah. And I mean, I have 2,300. It's not like I have 10 up there, but it's just not enough, to live off of just these print ads. Oh, indeed they are. So are postcards, by the way. Postcards are very much long tail, but they're a hot item. And again, you could do so much volume with not too different from print ads. Print ads are obviously a little bit larger, but they're also light, easy to mail, easy to store, all that good stuff. But if you have 50,000 postcards listed, you're going to make a living off of them, But if you have 1,000, 2,000, ain't going to happen. So yeah, that's definitely what I determined. Hey, CJ, how you doing? Good evening, Kelly. Welcome aboard. As we talk about volume, Mr. Kelly here with 4,000 postcards out of sleeves. Yeah, I just saw your post on Instagram, Kelly, with all the goodies you got in the mail from Paperpalooza. Hey, Deal Finder, how you doing? First half of the month for the first 4 months has been down compared to last year, and second half usually brings me up to even on the month. Well, let's hope so, because we've eclipsed the second half of August a couple of days back, right? 31 days, so you figure the 15th, 16th was the midpoint. I'm encouraged by the quick burst of activity I did get from sales. I haven't had a lot of sales. I probably talked about this on these shows. I haven't had a great amount of success with these usual markdowns, but I've never been this aggressive. 33% is pretty significant. At least I hope it is. And I did get like 3 quick ones, like within several hours after launching it. So we'll see what happens. But I'm just hurt. Like I said, I just want activity. I need more activity. I was talking with several people about traffic coming into the store. My traffic's been really good, but it's not translating into sales. So what good is traffic if you're not converting them into money? So let's hope that the markdown works. Yeah, 14,000. It's not enough. 14,000 what? A whole bunch of I don't know what you sell, Dream Buys. Is it a hodgepodge of many different things, or do you kind of focus in on one niche? Yeah, Kelly is hey Lori, Paperpalooza got my hubby tearing up all the magazines he can find. And again, please, far be it from me to poo-poo on the whole idea of print ads. They're amazing, they're fantastic, no doubt about it. I either need to like I opened up with, go get some more quick flip kind of stuff, which I could do, anybody could do, and just make some money, or B, hone in and like list 500 ads a day, which I could absolutely do, and just get that quantity to a point where, even if I had 10,000, which would be a little less than 5 times more than I have right now, maybe that would allow me the opportunity to stay in this long tail thing and still make enough income. We'll see. Might do a little bit of both. That's why I had the eye of the tiger in the beginning. The eye of the tiger speaks to do something. I'm going to do something. I'm not going to sit back and be a victim with this nonsense. It's not happening. Yeah, absolutely. Deal Finder. That goes without saying, but at the same time, there's still a lot of people doing, great work and being very successful despite the time of year and all that. So I want to be one of those people. I don't want to suffer from the slow down nonsense. By the way, kudos to my wife, who surprises me with this looks like junk, I know, and it is. It's a mocha frappuccino, something like that. So cheers, everybody. A little sugar for the night. Try to get pumped up. Hey, Memphis, how you doing? I want to bring something up on Whatnot really quickly. Postcards. Hey, Jeremy. Okay, and you said you had what, 14,000? That's not enough, huh? Yeah, you need crazy quantity for those things. You sell everything and still had slow sales. Yep. Good job, Memphis Blazer. Yeah, the CDs, I'll tell you what. Again, I'm not just a print ad guy. That's the majority of my store, but I have, 1,500 other listings that aren't print ads. And my new thing is these CDs. They're selling well. I did sell a couple CDs this week, as a matter of fact. So good call, Memphis Blazer. Kelly, that's your mindset. I'm pushing hard to 60,000 so you can focus on listing a wider variety. Yeah, but you'll have that base of 60,000 postcards, which should just, continually provide a decent enough income. And that takes the pressure off, because good times, bad times. If you're making a decent amount off these long tail and you have the quantity to justify it, then you can go out and have a little fun and buy some more popular things that fly off the proverbial shelves. Hey, Jim, how you doing? If ads going slow, Life magazines do sell. Yeah, well, a lot of my ads are from Life magazines, and I got them. I use them for the ads, but that's a good idea too. You bought Producer Whatnot. Yeah, this isn't a good way to start your stream. Yes, it is. It's an honest way. They're fantastic. Just watch any of my YouTube's videos, the whole series. I love them. But it really comes down to the quantity. If I had 100,000 of them, which I could absolutely get up, I'd be making a fortune and spending nothing, with a 2,300 number. It's just not large enough to get me through these slower times of the year when it comes to long tail. I'm just too heavily vested in long tail. I need to diversify a little more. Hey, Popeye, how you doing? Good evening. Quantity is key. Yes, 28. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Say 28,000, and he's just literally on cruise control, hasn't listed in months. And that's the way to do it. It's all about volume. And, Kelly's right there. Kelly's at like 28,000 last we checked, right? And now we just got a boatload of new ones. So up to you, Dreamy Buys. I just had it's funny you said that. I have a few people email me about just that. They were torn. Like there was a Johnny Cash boot ad or something, Western boot ad on one side and some kind of like a revolver ad on the other side. And she's like, which one should I do? You really could do what I call, it's like how did I word it? Buyer's choice. Do both sides and just say it's a one, you could choose either one, but you could market both of them. So like in that instance, she could have, keywords with Johnny Cash, which would obviously have a following. Then she could also have like this revolver. I forgot the name of it. It wasn't Remington, but whatever, a gun. So you're going to get gun people and Johnny Cash people. And then when they buy it, it's their choice which one they want to, highlight or which one they want to put up on a wall or whatever. So it's totally up to you if you want to. That happens all the time with the print ads. You'll often see there's two sides. And for me personally, I usually pick which one I think is going to be more desirable. But it's totally up to you. It is amazing. But he's got a great story. He's been out there for 25 years. And all that stuff really helps a lot. Hey, CK, postcards, what's going on? Welcome, welcome. A lot of postcard people. You hit 30,000. Congratulations, Kelly. Holy cow. And more to come, right? What'd you say on Instagram? You got like 4,000 more or something on the recent whatnots? Yeah, John's stuff is coming in. If anybody's on here that picked up anything from me on Paperpalooza, it's funny. There's still a handful of items from Paperpalooza that, per the post office, are not delivered yet. They all say they're kind of en route. I apologize for that. I mailed everything Monday morning. A bunch of people got it like on Tuesday and Wednesday. It seems like the few that I had that were first class are just really taking a while. So hopefully they will get to you very shortly. You send a lot of offers and entertain unsolicited ones too. Do you let them build up, Popeye, or do you send out offers every day? Like, do you let it build up to a certain amount, like until I get to 50 available offers to send, or do you just kind of do them as they come in? I've tried both. Sometimes I like to let it build up a little bit. It is awesome, Kelly. That's fantastic. Yes, absolutely, puddings. Absolutely. Truly, all ads sell really well. They do. Like I said, I'm not trying to. I open up my show saying I'm too heavily vested in long tail. All I mean is for my personal goals when it comes to money in the bank, this last week has been brutal for me, and brutal could be defined totally different for different people. All depends on what your goals are and what you need to survive. So for me, it was just a very, very down week. And like I said, a little introspection, what's going on. I didn't want to blame anyone or blame eBay, even though the view thing still kills me. I don't really understand their whole view changing thing. But anyway, regardless, like when I went to the traffic page, people are coming in, so I just want to personally, I'm either going to go like 10 times harder and just list print ads till the cows come home till I get to like 10,000. Let's just say the first threshold I want to get to is 10. And then maybe that'll take the pressure off. Or I could just try to get for money, try to source some more common things that flip easily, and just get some cash coming in. So we'll see. But yes, puddings, absolutely. They sell great. Yours first. You got mine? I saw you got yours really quick. Yeah, I look every day. I want to make sure everybody gets this stuff. Whatnot rolled out. Oh, no problem. You send them every 2 or 3 days. Okay, cool. So you let it build up. That's not a bad idea. I guess it really doesn't matter necessarily, but I prefer that too. I like to have I think mine is like 20. I like to have at least 20 before I start sending them out, because you figure even if you get like a 10% success rate, there's 2 sales, 2-3 sales, right? To me, it's by far the best feature they've ever rolled out, eBay, is the ability to send out offers. Could you imagine if they took that away? It would cripple people. Oh, my goodness. Did you really? Oh, that's a sin. Sorry about that. Yeah, you picked up 4,000 from eBay, 230 grandfather's collection that was sold to a pawn shop who didn't have time to sell them. They sold to me in price they paid. Wow, good for you. Pawn shops are great places to look. I don't think people talk about that enough. Small town PA, postcards normally don't sell greetings, but these are mostly mint condition. Clap saddle, beautiful. I picked up some clap saddles during Paperpalooza. I got them, was it yesterday or the day before? Admittedly, a complete novice in postcards. And I have a bunch of postcard ringers in my chat. So I hope you don't mind if I ask you guys some questions. But I just listed the easier ones, the Christmas ones, clap saddles, even like $10. Just, give me some money. Let's see how long they take to sell. At least I'm getting views on them, which is kind of cool. I wanted to show everybody really quick, John. I don't know if you're even aware of this, but let me show you. Just moments ago, I went into, let me make sure I have the right screen up. Yes. Anybody see something new on the Whatnot screen? I just went in moments before I went live because I wanted to check on shipping on some stuff I sent out. And they talked about it, but right here, baby, 1 day average ship time. They just added this new field to show, got an email about it, to show people's shipping time. And the SLA is 2 days on Whatnot. So hopefully that's a good thing that, I always ship it the next day. I know someone like John who ships, 10,000 a day or whatever he does. Maybe he needs the full 2 days, but that's kind of cool. That's brand new. Let me know if you Whatnot sellers see that on yours. I think they just rolled it out because I was in there all afternoon. It wasn't there. And then, I don't know, 5:45, I went in and bang, it was there. So I hope that's a good thing. It just says 1 day average ship time. It doesn't really show like what I think it should show, or at least allude to the fact that you're allowed 2 days and then I'm exceeding expectations, but we'll see. Thought that was kind of cool because I know it's been talked about for a bit. So John is busting it next day. Yeah, I just think it's good business, try to get him out as soon as possible. Less grief. I also like the message functionality within Whatnot. The fact that you can get in and I always message people, hey, thanks so much for your purchase. I sent it out this morning, and I make an effort to follow, especially because a lot of the stuff we're selling on Whatnot winds up going priority because of the weight, the whole weight thing and the whole shipping thing. Most of the stuff I'm putting out is shipping, is priority. So it should be there in 2 days, and when it's not, I'm like, oh, what's going on? So I really kind of baby it a little bit because I always want to keep the best feedback. I don't know, somebody must have dinged me. I got 4.96 all of a sudden after being a 5. Kind of mad about that. I wish there was a way to see who the heck the offender is and what their problem was, but I don't know. Whatever. It's still good, but it bothers me. Yeah, Marty, they also show recent feedback if comments are concluded. Oh, cool. I'll have to check that. Like actual wording, right? Because I haven't seen any of that yet. EcoSwift has reduced the quality of the mailers. Just received a shipment and more flimsy. That's not good. Not good at all. Your first card damage, maybe 150. Man, that's awful. And you said it was what, like an accordion? It was really like mangled, right? Putting my first Whatnot seller on do not buy list. Horrible shipping cards, just loosen box. I've heard a lot of people complain about the Whatnot shipping, the recipients when they buy things. Maybe it's new resellers that don't realize what's needed and the service element isn't there necessarily. As we've all talked about with some of the crazy streams you see with the music blasting and screaming and cursing and whatever, just for the sake of it. You know what I mean? I'm not a prude like I keep saying, but just like screaming and cursing for no reason and whatever. I'll try to do better. Yeah, guys, so that's pretty cool. The Whatnot thing, I think that's a nice enhancement. I saw that in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in about Whatnot, that it was coming. So it came really fast. The fact that they're gonna, actually highlight your average shipping time. I also wonder, is it just going to be like a 1, a 2, and a 3? Like, I mean, how many days would you wait? Supposedly you have to get them out within 2 business days, is my understanding. But like I said, I always do the 1. John does the 1. But it is nice to know if you have just an exceptional day where let's say you're doing a great job on eBay, you're doing a great job on whatever platform, and you sold a whole bunch one day on Whatnot. You do have, if you needed it, an extra day, which is kind of nice, a little buffer. All the ones you got Palooza, awesome. Yeah, because we know what we're doing, right, Lori? And everybody, I've talked about this. I haven't bought a lot on Whatnot, thank goodness. I'm trying to sell, not buy. But I have bought a few things. Bought from John, bought from a couple other sellers. And everybody that I buy from is obviously reputable, knows what they're doing, knows how to ship something properly. So the nerves would come in if I go to a complete stranger and buy something. Like I did buy some records from, at the time they were complete strangers, and they were shipped fine. Because a broken record isn't a good thing to get in the mail either. First selling Bonanza, really? Tell me about it. I've never even looked at Bonanza. The only like second tier selling platform I ever tried was whatchamacallit, Poshmark. And that lasted about a month. I hated it. You have to share every day and all this nonsense. Not for me. You don't send lots very often? Right. If anything, if you're not used to selling it, you think you'd be over the top careful, right? Something new. Good stuff, Kelly. Good stuff. Appreciate it. Real professionals. Yeah, the people in Paperpalooza certainly were. One more tip of the hat to Paperpalooza. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. We talked all about it on Monday's show. You always ship your postcards between 2 pieces of chipboard. Never had a problem yet. That's the way to do it. Got to have pride, right? You got to have pride in what you... It's your name. It's your reputation going out there. You don't want to ship shoddily. Oh, yeah? Interesting. What's Bonanza's forte? Like, are they known, like Poshmark's mostly clothing and stuff? Does Bonanza have like a base product that they specialize in or anything? Or can you do anything? What does that mean, Memphis Blazer? Well, now that you'll be able to read comments and see who sent what. Up to now, you weren't able to. You just see a number. Like, I guess somebody gave me a 4.5 or something. I don't know, because I'm at 4.96. You got matches. Yeah, I would imagine anything that's flammable, right? Batteries, of course, you send UPS ground. You only pay a fee when something sells. Cool. So you can port over all those listings from eBay, you were saying, and it's totally free. That's good. Wasn't a Paperpalooza seller, never bought, won't again. Yeah. I mean, and you do have the option, obviously, to leave that feedback on the sellers that you bought from. Just let them know. I've also seen several posts on YouTube, Instagram, all the things, as they say, with people bailing from Whatnot, sellers on Whatnot that are bailing on it. And I'm curious why. I don't know what they sell. It wasn't like postcard guys necessarily or anything like that. It was just kind of a hodgepodge. Second time I've used the term hodgepodge in only 25 minutes. That's the record. But a few people bailing on. I'm curious why. Maybe they're just not seeing the profits they hoped. I'm thrilled with it. Especially, I'll tell you, it's a saving grace when you're not having the best week on eBay. To go out there and do a couple of Whatnots could really be a little kick in the shot in the arm. Not a kick in the shot in the arm. It's like a mini eBay, really. Been on Bonanza for ages. Used to sell regularly, not so much last couple of years. Yeah, I've never even looked at it. I do like the fact that you could bring everything on eBay, though. That makes it tempting. And what's their? I mean, just you don't have to get into the woods with this, but what's their fee when you sell something? I know there's probably 7 levels of fees, but what's the basic? People don't know how to follow rules. I announced the Bath & Body Works sale, and when I posted that I had to cancel due to no ground shipping, people questioned why. People don't read is correct. They also don't read, Lori. They don't follow rules, and they don't read. Thank you. What did I say about CDs? Look what just came in the mail.
Why?
Because mine is broken. I want to sell it. Sealed. Thank you.
And Mrs. Flippin.
Mrs. Flippin just Mrs. Flippin says, "Why is there a Madonna CD at our door?" I agree, though, totally, Lori. And people don't read, which is what you find out all the time on eBay for sure, right? You have a whole description section. People, I mean, I usually try to here's a perfect example, right? If I say new sealed CD, blah, 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 versus this one has a broken, thing, whatever. If I write that, I'll get a complaint or something that says, why is the case broken? Read. Kelly has seen people leave Whatnot because they just aren't getting the same sales as the ones who have done it for longer. People just want to get rich quick. It don't work that way, is right, Kelly. I knew Lori would have that. Pudding says 3.5 is the lowest. You set mine for 19, so your listings appear on Google and Bing ads. Factory sealed, CJ. Keyword. Yeah, no, I'm big into the CD thing. CD sales. And I've teased a video for about a month that I haven't released yet. Because we've talked about it so much, I almost think it's overkill to release an actual video on it. But you know the drill. Go buy CDs. They're dirt cheap. You'll never get them cheaper than now. And if they do go up, you're going to be very rich. Plus, they ship media. Plus, they're really small. Plus, they're under £1. You know? All right. Well, like I said, I brought out the big guns. We have wonderful World War II ads from Saturday Evening Post, October of 1943. This magazine was in like pristine condition. I didn't even realize I had it. It was buried under some other ones. And I closed my eyes, literally. I have a pile. I closed my eyes, went like this, and pulled something out. I was like, whatever I pull out, this is what we're going to list tonight. And that was the issue. I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I had that. So if everybody's up for it, we could do a little bit of listing. Obviously, keep the conversation going, though. And if you wouldn't mind giving a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it, too. And buckle up. I'm probably going to be on for a while. It's Friday night. Wife's doing cookies right in back of me, so she's going to be here for a while. Let's be here for a while. No problem, Cameron. How you doing? Cameron, did you get your goodies? You bought something. Or was that just the other day? I'm sorry, I'm losing track. I don't remember if it was yesterday or 2 days ago or Paperpalooza. But anyway, good to see you, Cameron. All right, I'm going to pull up the screen. I just want to show everybody what we have here because it's really cool. Beautiful, beautiful. And you'll see right away, I think you'll see right away why I love these World War II ads. They're just incredible. So let us share a screen, shall we? We shall share the draft screen. That's what we shall share. There we go. I'm also, you see this? 998. Coming up on my first 1,000 feedback. I should have like 4,000, but nobody ever leaves feedback. It's frustrating. Here we are, 43. Vintage print ad. We will blow this screen up for the benefit of everybody so you can see. That look kind of good? All right, let me pull one up. Like I said, feel free to keep the conversation going. I do want to do some listing, as we mentioned at the onset of the show. And these are just really cool. So for you guys who enjoy the listing portion of the listing show, you're in for a real treat. Should we come out guns a-blazing? Yeah, we should. Look at that, boys and girls. Coca-Cola, 1943. Have a Coca-Cola. Come, be blessed, and be happy. How to break the ice in Iceland. So it's a family on an Icelandic trip. Images of Iceland in the background, some kind of steamship. Good old Coca-Cola. You just can't go wrong. You can see at the bottom, it actually says copyright 1943. Once again, this is October of 43, Saturday Evening Post. The nice size, 14 by 11. This is actually the back cover of the magazine, which typically is pretty banged up, just from age and storage and all that. But as you say, this is in really good shape. So hopefully it's an indicator, if the back cover is this clean, wait till you see the pages. But really not much in the way of, things to look for necessarily in this one. It's Coca-Cola. You can't go wrong with Coke. It's probably the mother of all advertising, period. Maybe McDonald's is near there. But it's pretty cool because it's Iceland. So we will definitely dive into this a little bit deeper. Puddings has a comment. You listed 80 print ads this week. You like hobby or focused interest magazines like boats or airplanes? I think that's a fantastic idea. Same category of ad appears through the whole magazine. Yep. Very true. always a good thing to be efficient when you're listing. That's why with these listing shows, I try to keep like products. Like we started off with a Coke, so if there's any other beverage ads, we'll probably do those, and maybe a food, and then a slew of cars. I try to stay in the same basic category. I think it's more productive that way. But is this a nice one? Hopefully everybody loves this. And this is just the first one. You will. If you only have 80, you only list at 80. We've discussed. They're long tail. But it depends on what you have, like anything else, right? If you find a real diamond in the rough, like with some of these ads are very, very valuable. Here's a bolo for you. Rolex watch ads. Depending on the age and depending on the condition, but that goes without saying with just about everything. Very, very, very expensive in the print ad world. Rolex watches. Well, we have Coca-Cola. We have Iceland. I'm going to read some of the stuff at the bottom just for myself to see if it makes any. This one is probably the only one in this whole collection that doesn't mention the war. Don't mention the war. Reykjavik is down there, the capital. I think I got away with it. So let us start at the beginning, shall we? Coca-Cola. Wouldn't you know it, when you change the category, we have a Coca-Cola section. That makes things dandy. My custom SKU for this one, it's Saturday Evening Post. It's actually the first one I think I've had. So I have SEP1 as my little SKU. The store categories is my internal. This would be a beverage ad, and I've already set up it's 1940s. I always have the same description: perfect for framing, light age toning. Age toning being that browning that takes place on paper over time. Whether it has it or not, I always leave that in there. So again, if it comes out cleaner than that, their expectations are being exceeded. All right, so we have Coca-Cola. It is original. Multicolor ad. It's a print ad from 1943. Has not been modified. It's from the US of A. The theme would be soda. You could see, again, all this stuff is just what I've built over the years. It's kind of the same, but I changed, obviously, the date, October 43. Put it in the magazine it's from, and I put the dimensions for the full ads. Hey, Susan, how you doing? Welcome. You're just in time. We just started listing. What do you know? On a listing show, we're listing tonight. At least we're going to start listing. All right. So at this point, the basics are in play. I want to mention one more thing on the eBay front. I told you I did the sale, the markdown sale I just started. I also did go in. I had, again, not a big number at all, 3,100 items, and I had 164 in that little bucket that says recommended specifics, add recommended specifics. I did them all last night, save for one because I had an offer out on one of them, and it doesn't let you change it if it has an offer. So 163 of those are now off of my plate. So I'm just hoping that the combination of a quick sale and that will churn and generate some interest. And it seemed to work really quickly yesterday, so that's a good thing. Well, let's take a look at the ad again. Actually, upon further inspection, would this be a soldier of some kind? The hat looks like a soldier's hat, doesn't it? And I guess this would just be an Icelandic guy with some big old oar. And this is how to break the ice in Iceland. Yeah, a doughboy. There you go. Have a Coke, says the doughboy. Doughboy is a keyword. So I'm going to put doughboy. I'm going to put Iceland. All those Iceland nuts. How to break the ice is actually really cool. It is, yeah. It says doughboy pudding. Pudding's when I read that. How to break the ice, actually, like is like a little tagline. How to break the ice. I just realized, hold on. All of the ads today, and I have, by the way, I have what, 15, 16, I think, that I cut out for tonight's show. I have a whole, I don't know, I probably have like another 30 or 40 of them in that magazine. So we'll be doing this one on a couple listing shows, this magazine. I'm always going to put WWII in every one of these ads because, that's a big keyword. So we have Coca-Cola, vintage print ad, World War II, Doughboy, Iceland, how to break the ice. We have 6 characters to play with. Anybody see anything they think might be worthy? Memphis says Doughboy is World War I, so maybe it's an old soldier. Not old. It's only 20 years later. I'll read you exactly what it says. Blazer, Memphis. Come be blessed and be happy, says the hospitable Icelander when he meets a stranger. That's a one way of putting it, but no more friendly than the way American soldiers say it. Have a Coke, says the Doughboy, and it works in Reykjavik as it does in Rochester. $1 Million Peddlers. Check them out. Rochester, New York. So it is a Doughboy who is a World War. So it's an older soldier, right? Hey, Andrew, how you doing? Boat's kind of cool, and it fits with 6 letters, right? It's still in World War II era ad, regardless. But it looks like, yeah, it's probably you figure if you were in World War I in 1943, you're probably in your mid 40s with some kids. So it's a young guy still, but he's a World War I soldier. That definitely makes sense. Look at the image. You could tell it's not a young guy there. He's not 20. Hey, yo. What's going on, Andrew? Yeah, boat. Simple, but effective. And then, as a matter of fact, look at that. Every character has been utilized. So bravo, Andrew. Welcome. Making an impact right out of the gate. I will tell you, again, this is totally up to you, but it's Coca-Cola, first of all. It's World War II, second of all. So we're jacking up the price a little bit on this guy. You have the ongoing sale. So the good thing is when I add, depending on how many we list tonight, and I list over the weekend, they'll all automatically get sucked into that sale. So the combination of new listings, sales, no more item specifics being necessary. Hoping it all adds up for a good weekend. Stephen contradicting Memphis Blazers comment that it's exclusive to World War I. I'm not going to get into that battle. Yeah, I always thought that too. That's why. But it does look like, I mean, he's got kids and stuff. It's probably not a World War II soldier. He's a 40-something-year-old guy, it looks like. Remember, this is a drawing, so it's not anybody real. But regardless, you boys can fight that out if you want. All right, we're going to list this. So Coca-Cola to start off the night is always a good way to start when you're listing. All right. Now, pull up another one. And as everybody probably notices, I'm still using the classic listing tool. I have not jumped into this try the new listing tool. I tried it a couple times. I despised it. So I'm holding out as long as humanly possible. I'm sure there'll be a point where we're no longer able to use this. But until that point, we will truck along. All right, Coca-Cola is done. Here's another big one. People love the choo-choo trains. New York Central Railroad, wartime housekeeping on wheels, how we serve 3 million extra meals a year on the water level route. So you have, a depiction of a New York Central, couple of rail cars. I don't know how easy it is for you guys to see this over on YouTube, but basically it's split. You can see some passengers in the bottom section and some cooks and people like that up top, and how they're keeping the boys, fed, comfortable, all courtesy of New York Central Railroad. So railroad ads, just generally phenomenal sellers. You couple that with World War II, you got a winner. Barbara Engro, how you doing, Barbara? Who's coming back with the term goes back to 1846. So there you go. It's almost 100 years before this ad. I think it's a good word to use. It's literally spelled out in the ad, too. So the semantics of whether they're actually called a doughboy at that point or not, it doesn't matter. It's stated in the body of the ad. It says the doughboy. Exactly, Kelly. Indeed, the railroad aspect will definitely draw people in. Avid railroad collectors. I do very well with railroad ads of all kind. And when you, like I said, it's a double whammy because we have World War II and a railroad. But hey, Barbara, how you doing? Welcome. They called them that because they were usually dusty and looked they were covered in flour. Mexicans called them in the Mexico. There you go, Stephen. That's a very good origin story. Railroad has a lot going on to draw the buyer in. Yes, I agree, Kelly. Groovy ad. All right, so this is New York Central Railroad. Again, it's easy nowadays to forget how popular railroad travel was, king of the road for so long. And even into the 40s, it was still a huge way of traveling. Ball players used to go, instead of flying, they used to take the railroad across the country to go to different stadiums. And obviously, with the war effort and stuff, the railroads were still mighty. All right, so let's change this to, you have a nice section here called Transportation, Railroadiana, and Trains Paper Advertising. So that fits like a glove. That's a weird word, huh? Railroadiana. Everybody repeat that with me. Railroadiana. And then I have a store category called Railroad. All right, let's fill out our required specifics. It is indeed from 43. It has not been modified. It is the United States. So nice and simple as far as that. Look at that. 3 little specifics. That's it. So now we could do the fun stuff. There's a lot going on in this ad that, again, might be difficult to see. So let me, as a matter of fact, let me blow this up a little bit so we could all take a closer look, because it's really cool. There's a lot going on. And usually when there's a lot going on, it's more opportunity for cool keywords. So let me pull up the larger picture. Thusly, there we go. Can you see a little better, everybody? There's like some guys hanging out smoking. And talk about a key. Right down here, buy more war bonds. Beautiful. You see it in World War I, you see it in World War II. I always try to sneak that in if it applies. It says 10% off for fighters. Those in uniform get a 10% discount on New York Central Railroad dinners. We serve thousands on furlough every week. To give them room, plan trips you must make for midweek. Okay, tight packed pantries, a meal a minute. Your water, a specialist, so somebody comes out and delivers the water to everybody. Your busy host, the steward. Isn't this awesome? This is a great ad. Good stuff. How we serve 3 million extra meals a year on the water level route. Air conditioning, air-conditioned cars, refrigeration, all along the, if you look at the top of the image of the railroad with the roof off it, the car, excuse me. Tremendous ad. So there's so many different things to pull for here. Words to pull out of this ad. Your waiter, wartime etiquette, that's kind of funny. No red and blue ration coupons, but so you have the coupons, the ration coupons, which roll out in World War II. You have the buy more war bonds tag. You have the railroad, which is tremendous. You have soldiers. There's almost too much to talk about in this one. Lots going on. So let me pull up my regular drafts again. Welcome to everybody that's coming in. Hope you're having a great Friday. Hope you had a good week. I didn't. I had a good week on the personal front, but not a great week on the eBay. So we're going to change that right here and now. All right. All the particulars are in there. So what would you guys suggest we start with? Like I said, I do like to get buy more war bonds in there when at all possible. It's people just search for that, war bond ads. You're going to find collectors of trains. You're going to find collectors of World War II stuff in general. You're going to find collectors of soldier paraphernalia, soldier stuff. That term war bonds attracts buyers. There's so many different things going on here. Collectors of railroads in general, collectors of New York Central specifically. A lot going on. 1 second. My screen froze over on my YouTube screen. Hang on 1 second, everybody. There we go. We are back live. Okay. So what do you guys think? Talk to me, people. What would you put first? I have my ideas, but I'd like to know what your ideas are. Or you could just sit there quietly and listen to me as I sip my mocha frappuccino. Well, since you asked, you know what I'm going to put? I'm gonna put. Let's see how much space do we have for what? I'm just gonna put war bonds. So I'm not gonna put buy more because it uses up some characters. The war has silenced everybody. Now this is like I said. These are some mighty ads. The ultimate bolo I can give you for print ads as a whole, just like John would give you something for postcards, like the best postcards are the following, without question. World War II era ads, soldiers, planes, which we'll get into, planes, things blowing up, all that rah rah stuff around the war, the USO, all that kind of stuff. Anything to do with World War II, you're going to make a killing. Yep. Barbara, we opened up I don't know if you saw this yet. New York Central Railroad are the first couple of words in the ads. That's number one. Vintage print ad, World War II, war bonds. I guess the extra stuff would be the whole, the fact that they're cooking for the boys and all that stuff. 3 million extra meals. The water level route might even be something worth putting in. World War I is highly sought after as well, Andrew. Absolutely. World War II being more recent by 20 years or so. It's still, a lot of people can still remember World War II, whereas World War I is far enough now where I think it's, in fact, there's no soldiers anymore alive from World War I. I think it just suffers a little bit from the time element. Plus, the cast of characters involved with World War II obviously are so infamous and highly collectible. But yeah, in fact, I have a whatnot coming up on next Wednesday, with World War I era ads. So check that out if you're interested on whatnot, and you'll see. So basically, outside of the war bonds thing, which I already put in, I'm going to do something to do with all this food and this catering and this, service that they're providing. Because that's really what the ad's about. So I'm going to put food. Maybe meals. Extra meals. Benefit soldier. Soldiers. Meals. There we go. Nope. No needs. I mean, I've never have, Andrew. What color or black and white? The picture says that, and plus there's a category specific. Usually that says multicolor or black and white. So what time housekeeping? It's a great ad, as Kelly noticed right away. The whole, the buy-in here is the railroad, which has a crazy following. People love the choo-choo trains. People have fire engines. People have cars. People have airplanes. That's going to do it for this one, but it just shows you, again, we're just starting off gently here. There's a lot of really amazing ads tonight because the magazine is stunning. I think what I'm going to do in short order is I'll follow up on this show tonight when these things sell. Because, yes, it is a long tail genre to begin with, but certain ones like these usually, I have a bunch of, thank goodness I have some followers who look specifically for this stuff, which is the best case scenario, by the way, on eBay. When you have followers in your store and people that collect certain things and you build a rapport with them, it's like they're literally sitting there waiting for the next Coke ad or whatever it is, the thing that they follow, or in this case, train. So a lot of times, like, they'll sell instantly based on, what you put up. I've been holding off on the World War II stuff for a long time, so it's fun to actually do one live with everybody. All right, what's next? Remember what I said about trying to keep, if we're in Coke, I would look for other beverage ads. If we're in, food, I try to do all the food ads together. Now I guess we would consider this like transportation. I mean, primarily train, but let's see what else we got. we mentioned popularity of this guy too. If it ever uploads. There we go. United Airlines. People like airplanes, especially World War II style. Planes will be to measure in the age of flight. So we have a United Airlines advertisement. I'll read. It really isn't graphically that amazing. It's just airplanes, right? Black and white, and it's an illustration as well. But I'll read the bottom because was trying to scope out for any mention of, like it says at the bottom, right over the word United. I know you can't see it. It says buy war bonds and stamps for victory. So again, this definitely fits right in. There's also, again, I'm going to blow this up because it's very hard to see for you guys. Right here, where my arrow is, there's an artist signature as well. So always take a minute to look up the artist just in case it's somebody really famous or somebody known for doing a certain, style of artwork, because people will absolutely collect like clap saddle in the postcard world, right? There's the equivalent in the print ads sometimes, and specific illustrators or artists, they'll look out for them. I think it's a cool ad too, guys. Andrew and CJ agree this is cool. So United Airlines, it does say buy more war bonds. And right away, we'll just, as soon as we put most of the time, just so everybody knows, especially if you're new to the channel, most of the time, this is my format all the time. I have a year, I have the product or the title or the company, finish print ad, blah, 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 after that, right? Almost every time when you put in your product title, the company or whatever, you can almost immediately hit this change category times. And most of the time, you're going to find something that applies. Suggested right out of the gate. Sometimes you have to do a little investigation. You have to search on your own. But here we go again. Bam. Collectibles, transportation, aviation, airlines, United. So United has its own category. We're obviously going to slide that right in there. We're going to change my store category from railroads to airlines and airplanes. Is what I titled it. And again, we'll just figure United type. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to put print ad. No, United States Airline United. There you go. So again, very simple as far as the specifics required. Actually, it's only recommended, right? So there we go. Simple as that. Planes will be tailored to measure in the age of flight. And then the opening paragraph, in this war, is what it says. So, obviously, let me blow this up again so everybody can check this out, because I know people enjoy this stuff. I definitely do. I want to read it. I'll pull up the larger version for everyone so we can check it out together. Hope you're enjoying this. It's about time we list on a listing show. What do you think? But as always, if you guys want to talk about anything else, bring it up in the chat. That's totally cool. There we go. Can everybody make that out, kind of? It says, in this war, there are scores of different types of planes, each designed for a particular kind of service. Among them are the huge United transport planes. So, bing, 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 we have transport planes. And you can kind of see now in the nose of that plane how they're loading it up with supplies and stuff. Other United planes, the famous mailliners, are flying all over the mainline airway, providing the fast, dependable passenger mail and express service so vital in our fight for victory. So again, it's all victory-driven, buy war bonds, all that stuff. Age of flight, I think, is another big keyword. But everybody, if you want to read this, take a look. And as of this point in 1943, United had 17 years of experience. So 26, right? I guess is when they came into existence. It's amazing to think that flight is only 40 years old at this point, since the Wright brothers in 1903. And look at how far they came in 40 years. Amazing. So if anybody has any questions or any thoughts about this one, let me know. Hopefully everybody's read that. And now you can take a little bit of a closer look at this artist depiction. Again, it's pretty cool the way they're loading up the nose. Look at this thing. 6 propellers. That's a big old plane. I guess this is more of a passenger type of a plane. They have little ones. Beautiful ad. And there's your title, Saturday Evening Post. All right. Let me pull this up again. Then we'll get to listing it. Every time I go into this page, it says a new listing experience is coming. I don't care. There we go. All right. Well, World War II, United Airlines. I do love Age of Flight, and I like War Bonds. So we're going to put War Bonds, Age of Flight. And what was that type of plane called that we read about? All keywords. If plain people will know this stuff. Transport plane. Shoot, it's a little bit short. Transport plane. Age. I won't put Age Flight. What else can we put in there? Because Age of Flight doesn't fit. Anybody have any ideas? Everybody's so quiet tonight. My goodness. Is everybody listing with me? Listing something else? Let me know your thoughts. Age of Flight takes up too much for 11. Age of Flight. Transport plane. What's another word for plane? Victory I could put in there too. It says United has the famous mainliners. CJ's eating dinner. That's okay. Enjoy your dinner. I wish I was eating dinner. 7 o'clock here. Pudding says hanger. That's a very good one, actually. Yes. I like it, Puddings. Thank you. We'll throw that in. Most of our remaining characters too, right? Good work. Thank you, Puddings. I appreciate that. Pushes it over the top. So a very cool ad again. Airplanes. Transportation in general. Transportation ads. And the postcard guys can tell me, do transportation postcards sell well? They definitely, the print ads do. I wonder if there's any correlation there, but beautiful. Put that one up. List. Lori's listing with me. Thank you, Lori. What are you listing? Groovy World War II ads? All right. Almost knocked over my drink, folks. I was sitting there showing everybody my chocolate drink. It almost went all over the keyboard, but it was a beautiful save. It didn't happen. The big Beatles show tomorrow night. Place fairly local to me. It's like 45 minutes away instead of the usual 6-hour drives I've been doing. And then we have another show on Tuesday. Excited about both of them. 'Tis the season for Beatles shows, let me just tell you. All right. This is really cool stuff. I know CJ's eating dinner, excuse me. But I want him to see some of this stuff because I know he'll dig it. So we're going to go backwards a little bit as far as I'm going to go against what I just said about trying to keep products in a row. We're going to go to a standby. Speaking of dinner, Campbell's chicken soup, baby. It's the making of many a meal. Again, I want to look really quickly to see if there's any, buy war bonds kind of stuff. But for anybody who might not know, this little girl down there is called a Campbell's Kid. They are kind of the mascots, if you will, of Campbell's Soup. So that's a keyword, Campbell's Kids. Good old chicken soup. Looks like a little grilled cheese up there or something, a salad. Nice hearty lunch. But don't ask why Campbell's Soup so very popular in the collecting realm. chicken. Kind of cool is you see this whole thing I have that's going to be continuous every single ad we do. Vintage print ad, World War II. Takes up a lot of space. So like we won't have to like think much and you'll have most of your title built out. Campbell soup. Let us go to our, what did we say? Now, Campbell's ironically doesn't have its own category, but there is a category called soup, which works just fine. And then for my internal store category, put food ad. And then brand is Campbell's soup. Multicolor. What you were asking about before about multicolor versus black and white, that's the field right there. So I think it's redundant to put it in the title, personally. Plus, I can see the picture. And sorry, I just hit my microphone. 1943. Modified. United States. Soup. Alrighty. The making of many a meal. Again, scouring really quickly to see if there's any reference to war-related stuff, which I actually don't see in this one, which is kind of crazy. Let me blow this up for myself first. It says look for the red and white label. Yep, salvage tin to win. So there we go. You'll often see World War I and World War II, rationing, things like that will always come into play. So in this is a case of rationing. It's saying salvage tin to win. It will mean more tin for canned foods and for war materials. Save every can you open. Remove the label. Wash, fold in both ends, and flatten. Turn over to your local salvage committee. How cool is that? Local salvage community. So, you know, all hands on deck, obviously. World War II going on. It's only 1943 here, so we kind of just started. We're like a year and a half in. A little less than 2 years in at this point. I love it. Really good ad. So I'm going to put tin salvage ration. I'm not putting war bonds this time because it doesn't speak to that. But tin salvage rations committee. COMMITTEE. Sorry, I'm missing some comments. You're still doing hog. Oh, no problem, Laura. That's cool. What kind of stuff? All kinds of stuff? I don't want to miss. If I let this thing go too far, I won't be able to scroll all the way to the top. Where can you see your music shows? We play all over the country, actually, Andrew. Tomorrow we're in Pennsylvania. Tuesday we're in Jersey. A town called Linden. But we're all over the place. You'll be flipping the switch this weekend to start some. Oh, very cool, Lori. Good luck. On average, how many? Hey, Audie, what's going on? Guten Tag. How much in dollars do you think the Paperpalooza brought each hour? For me or for everybody in general? I mean, we were only on an hour, so whatever the sales were for every seller, that's your hourly rate. I know John did great as always. I know everybody did really well. Everybody had everybody, and Saturday I can speak to Saturday directly because I watched almost every show Saturday, and without fail, at least at the onset, everybody had like between, what would you say, John? Like between 70 and 100 people in the room, which is just amazing. So we always talk about volume. The same goes with Whatnot. If you have 100 people in your room, your chances of selling stuff is going to increase as opposed to having 10 or 15 people in your room. So again, it comes down to volume and numbers like that. So I guess everybody, if they want to give out their numbers, they can, Artie, but it was just a 1 hour event. Everybody had 1 hour. It's the kids, Campbell's kids. Yes. Ooh, good work, Popeye. You saw that? Grace Drayton on what? On the previous one? You think you did a little over 500. That's awesome, Andrew. She also signed some of her work, Grace Wiedersheim. Did she ever do postcards, Popeye? Illustrations? She created the kids? Oh, the Campbell's kids, I guess you're talking about, right? Popeye did $12.50 an hour, but also went about 5 to. Well, it was your prerogative, right? Your auctions all went so high, I was priced out, but it was fun watching. Who are we talking about? Yeah, you talking about Popeyes, right? Yeah, Popeye had a bunch of buy it nows. She drew them, so I'm just assuming she created those. Probably. Salvage tin to win is the proper way to list. Yeah, that's cool. I kind of had that sort of. The buy it now probably brought in 700. Wow, 100 lots. Cursed Halloween cause. Go get dinner, Popeye. No problem. We'll be here. Yeah, they are. The Halloween stuff is awesome. It's obviously kind of like right now, I guess, is if you don't have your Halloween stuff up, it's time to get it up because once September hits, forget about it. It's going to be 2 months of nonstop Halloween. I know in our supermarket, we already have all the candy. Halloween candy aisles are already established, even though it was 90 degrees again today, and we still have over a month of summer left, but that doesn't matter to the United States marketing people. They want Halloween to start in August. Yes, she did postcards before the kids were used for games. Oh, cool. Okay. All right, go get your dinner. What am I having for dinner? Nobody made me any dinner. Okay. So Campbell soup, I'm gonna let this run because look at this. We have 0 characters. Always my goal personally is to try to fill in as many characters as humanly possible in the title. Maximize, as many keywords as we can throw out there is always a good thing. So that one will go off to the eBay gods, and away it goes. So we have some juggernauts tonight. Coca-Cola, Campbell's Soup, United Airlines, New York Central Railroad. This is some blue chip kind of stuff. Quite intentionally, too. I like the combination. Sometimes we do really obscure ones in these shows, and then sometimes we do just these blue chippers like tonight. But the incredible power and popularity of World War II behind them all. So, like I said, Eye of the Tiger to start the show. Figured I'm going out with the heavy hitters tonight. Alrighty. John's at dinner. CJ's eating. What can we throw up here? All right, here's just an example of the epitome of a World War II ad is right here. Just look at this picture. I'll be quiet. Just look. Hey, Mark, what's going on? SM Postcards. Welcome. Check them out on YouTube and on Whatnot. Love to see all these postcard people. There definitely is a parallel. Would you not agree, the guys that are into postcards and gals that are into postcards? There is definitely a parallel with the print ad world. Like John just pointed out, some of the artists, that did illustrations for these ads, did illustrations for postcards. Dawn has arrived, and not a moment too soon, Dawn. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Good morning. How do we say guten morning, Mike? And Victorian cards. Yeah, good point, Pudding. Yeah, there's a parallel, I like that. But this is just everything you want in a print ad right here. Guten Tag. Okay. Thanks, Mark. So Guten Tag. Isn't that good day? Mighty righty. I mean, this is just an amazing ad. You got Camel cigarettes. Enough said right there, right? You got the Camel going. You got a tank at the top, crushing, flying over some wooden fence. You got a couple of soldiers in the middle lighting up. You got a dame down below. Probably the dame at home that the boys are waiting to go back and see. And this is unbelievable. Road closed by the fighting engineers. It's got everything. It's colorful. It's color photo. Those are real photos this time, as opposed to the illustrations we've seen up to this point. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, good morning. That's what I said, Mark. This is, come on. Come on. It's so good. We're rising this guy up too. Remember, I have a sale going, so it'll seem like a deal to somebody. This is a monster ad, an absolutely monster ad on about 5 different levels. Let's go in. Camels. If we just put camels, I'm curious what comes up. This is something that comes up once in a while. And it's a good opportunity to bring it up for anybody who might be new to the show, because I know there's a lot of new viewers, which I appreciate greatly, and thank you for joining. There is the field, the dreaded Tobacciana cigarettes, okay, which is right here. If you go into that field, you'll notice, let's click on it just for fun. You notice it makes no mention of advertising. It's Tobacciana, if that's how you pronounce it, Tobacciana cigarettes, right? So my assumption is that people sell actual tobacco products. I don't know if that's frowned upon. Don't know. But you could also sell cigar, paraphernalia, all that kind of stuff in Tobacciana. But it's not it's collectible category, but it's not an advertising category. And I always try to put my ads in an advertising related category, because the few times I've done cigarette ads and put it in a cigarette category, which you would think is logical, I find myself getting not only no views, but sometimes I get some rude comments saying that these are not cigarettes, this is an ad. No kidding. So I've been avoiding that category, even though it seems like a logical place to store these guys. So we're going to get out of that. And then my dilemma becomes the following. This I always call the black hole. It's the most generic, collectibles, advertising, merchandise, memorabilia, advertising, print, 1940 to 1949. Great. So we're going to throw this ad in a category that is all things advertising, print for an entire decade. And I want to try to, most of the time, I try to put these ads into a field or into a category whereby they will be seen by people who want cigarette ads, or people want World War II stuff. Then you have this interesting notion. Hope everybody could see this, right? This one is military World War II. Ding, ding, right? Original period items. This is an original period item. It is the United States. Poster and print. This is a print, right? It's a print ad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in here. Theoretically, every one of these ads we list tonight could really go into this category. The thing is, then again, it's going to kind of like, if I want Coke people to see it, they might not look in this category. So you see the dilemma that I face this once in a while. And it often with cigarette ads, there's a couple of typewriters of all things. Typewriters don't have a category at all. I wound up throwing in like home appliances or something. Otherwise, it's the same scenario. Put it in a typewriter category, you get hate mail from people saying you're not selling a typewriter, you're selling the ad. So anyway, we're going to give this one a go with posters and prints, military World War II. World War II people would be scouring this section, you would think, right? This category. So that's where we're going to put it. But it is indeed a cigarette ad, right? U.S., not modified. Conflict would be WW2. It's an original. Region of origin would be the United States of America. The theme is military. Sure it is, right? It's got military guys on there. So I'm psyched about this. I like that category a lot. And seriously, like in theory, every single ad we put up from this magazine, I could just throw in this. And that would guarantee that the World War II people will find all of these ads. But at the sake of losing potentially somebody like I just alluded to that's looking for a Coke ad or looking for a United Airlines ad, they might not think to look in World War II. So that's my 2 cents. If anybody thinks differently, let me know. I'm going to put Camel's cigarettes. And then we could take a look again. I don't want to miss too many comments. Artie is saying free cigarettes for the GIs. Indeed. Corey, you had a live stream? I wonder what I was doing. So, did you have a sleep stream? Done? Steven says engineers. Yeah, I like that word too. You're supposed to take up Matt's slack. Matt was streaming from the road. Hey, postcards and more, Laura. Welcome, welcome. I got all the postcard people coming in. Mark says, too bad you can't slap a stamp on it. Horrible signal, though, doesn't count. Are we talking about somebody else? I hope my signal is not horrible. Dreamy buys, Lionel train ads. Absolutely. Phenomenal. People like choo-choo trains, Dreamy buys. Hi, Mark. The lot I'm sorting through has a stack of Rally Day. Rally Day? Not sure what that is, Kelly. Why don't you tell everybody? Camels with Sergeant Bilko. He's not in there, though, right? Right. Mark says Tobacciana, item related to tobacco or its industry. Correct. Of which this certainly applies to both. You like Coke. Jimmy buys. You'll never get the 10,000 listings. Like, well, you see, the listing shows are very slow by nature, Dreamy buys. When I'm by myself, I plow through these things. It's for the edification of all who choose to watch that I slow down like this, because I like to discuss the intricacies of the ads themselves. And then honestly, I get really, really great ideas from everybody too. So this isn't a race on a show like this. I'm just trying to go through ads and kind of showcase them for everybody. Crazy phone keeps cutting this off. That's why I don't use phones. Hey, Weeda, how you doing? Hello, TJF. Yes, received the print answer paper loser show. Awesome, thanks. You're very welcome. Do I have a link for the large rigid mails? I'm getting that question all the time. I do, and it's in Dawn. If you go to the Dawn will throw a link up for you, Weeda. I hope. She's always kind enough to do that for me. But Dawn, if you go into my print ad series and you check out the title shipping and something shipping, there's a link right at the bottom of that video, Weeda. It's not truth here. I don't get paid a penny for this. I just put the links because I hope that people are interested in using the same stuff. So hopefully Weeda Dawn will put a link in there. It's the shipping one, Dawn, the shipping episode in my print ad series. For those who don't know, shameless plug, as Paperboy would say. YouTube, I have a 7-part series all about print ads, soup to nuts. And in the one that's titled shipping and something else, I think, but it's shipping, I should know. There's a link in the description, Weeda, a direct link to get those mailers. But welcome, Weeda. I'm thrilled that you got them. Susan just got 350 postcards from the shows, Weeda. Susan, excuse me, from Paperpalooza and such. Marty, do what Mark would do. Rely on the data. Leave it in the category for 30 days if slow sales switch. Oh, I've done that many a time, Kelly. I've played around with that. Like, leave it in cigarettes, let's just say, and then see what happens, and then move it to this militaria. And yeah, I do the same thing all the time. I agree, total. I'm data driven. You've started seeing them now also. Hey, Lady Luck Junk, happy Friday. How you doing? Welcome aboard. Mark says, Rally Day is a church postcard sent out to rally everyone back to church after a long... Wow. Thank you, sir. I did not know about that. I assume that's a popular type of a postcard. Watch the video series and selling. Yeah. Yes, Dreamy Buys. Thank you. It is. But Dawn, look at Dawn. Marty, Corey, Dreamy Buys is telling me I was supposed to be doing a live stream every day. Oh, you were supposed to fill in. I got you. Yeah, Dawn is. We'll see. I still think we're going to get her behind in front of the camera at one point. She would do a bang up job on Whatnot. There's no doubt about it. You're welcome, Weeda. Yeah, hopefully Dawn will put the direct link in for you. Hey, Swan Picker, how you doing? Welcome. And let me get the words. Hold on. Dreamy Buys is Corey. Okay. I hope you guys don't mind first names. I try to use the names that you guys use unless you tell me, call me Jim. Then I'm happy to. No from someone selling on YouTube. Okay, good. You're over here yelling at the TV. You're going. Thank you, Dawn. Yeah, Weeda, check that link out. Thank you so much, Dawn. That'll take you right to the specific video about shipping. And then if you just check out right below the video, the description part, I have a link for the mailers I use. And if by chance, because this has happened, if by some chance Amazon, I got them from Amazon, if by some chance they are out of stock, which happens once in a while, you'll see like 20 other suggestions below that. It's a rigid cardboard mailer. Just make sure, I recommend you get the size that I have because it'll accommodate these larger ones. Like this is 14 by 11 we're doing today. The Life of 15 by 11. The biggest one we had was Collier's is like what, 16 by 12 or something like that. So you need to make sure you get a mailer that maybe like even like 17 inches long by 15 wide, if that is available. You'd rather have more room than not enough, but it keeps them preserved perfectly. I've also had people, it's so funny, you do this long enough, you see trends. Talk about data, Kelly. You see trends even in comments and questions. I've had like 20 people say, hey, do you have a link to the mailers? Hey, do you have a link to the scanner you use? Hey, do you have I get the same questions over and over, and they're all in there, but you just have to kind of lead people to them. The other thing is the consistency with questions about not just like supplies that I use, but like techniques and everything. And I don't mean to sound, I hope I don't come across rude in any way. Like, just go look at my video. I don't mean it that way. I just mean that I do have like just about everything spelled out in that series. So if it pertains to a print ad thing, always ask a question freely, obviously in a show or on any comment, but just refer everybody, check out that video series. And if I am missing anything that I haven't hit on, please let me know. And I will gleefully do another video on it. Like, I had a couple of people ask about a non-print ad related video, setting up business policies in eBay. I did a really quick overview video, and I've had multiple people say, hey, could you dive a little deeper? Like, things like that I love, because then it's great feedback and it gives me ideas to do new videos. Susan, you did get some from the pop shows. Paperpalooza, is that pop? Wow, you all trust her. Yeah, she's a good kid. Nah, she would never. You got it? Beautiful, Wita. Your mark with or without the R. Ooh, that's interesting. CJ has mailers. There you go. Look at CJ with the shameless plug. I is Marty. You are? You have 50 to 600 print ads in your store and have not done much with them in a while. What do you mean by done much with them? Never had links to supplies. I had to buy from big sellers in categories I wanted to sell in to figure it out. Well, I put links in. Again, it's just for the benefit of people that follow me and people that are interested in it. I don't get any money for any of them. There's people that have the paid things. I had one company. You'll see the link. This is consistent in all of my videos for the I use the mailers, but then I put them in these clear bags. The company that does those bags sent me an email. They wanted me to be an influencer and all this stuff, which is cool. So I said, sure. And they said, oh, yeah, it's like 10% off coupon, but you don't get paid for it. They said they're working on a program to start paying for it. But, it's supposedly just supposed to be an honor to be asked to be a, spokesman for them. So I put it in there because I don't mind. I use them all the time. But Mark, let me know what you mean by you not doing anything with them. I'm curious. Kelly, I think at one time I saw IG of shelves. Jay Smith, welcome. I agree. No cigarette advertising. And the other one, Jay Smith, the other weird one is typewriters, which you'll see all the time in the 40s for sure, but even much earlier. Like, we've done shows. If you guys haven't seen it, go check out the archives here on Jiminy Flip It. You'll see I've done a ton of these live listening shows, and we had typewriters from like 1905, these big, beautiful machines. Can't find a typewriter category. It's crazy. Advertising, typewriter. So those are the two crazy ones, cigarettes and typewriters. Welcome, Jay Smith, though. Good to see you. Gotcha, Dawn. A guy from Chicago is making fun of somebody else's accent. That's the stuff of folly right there, isn't it? You copied and pasted from your video. It's your mailers. Oh, okay, no problem. I'm only kidding. Yeah, that's why Dawn, you see, Dawn refuses to speak on camera because once we hear that Canadian thing going, she knows she'll get ragged on. Dreamy, shelves that I put containers on. Yeah, no, we need to, smirk. Everybody settle down. Everyone has accents. But the person that speaks thinks everybody else has the accent, you see. It's all a state of mind. The view from here, welcome. Hello, it's a good way of describing vintage fragrance, not necessarily mildew, just old basement musty. What's a good way? That's a challenge. What's a good way of describing that they smell? Vintage fragrance is actually kind of funny. I've never used that. You definitely don't want to put mildew. That would be frowned upon. Mildew and paper, not a good mix. Old basement musty. I don't know. I've never had to describe that. And the thing is, when I'm sourcing these magazines, I specifically try to take home the ones that don't have that. And I know it's a byproduct of time and all that stuff and where they're stored, so it's hard to get away from it. But the ones I have, honestly, they don't have any of that smell. Thank goodness. I shy away from them. There's enough out there that are in decent condition. I try not to play with the ones that have that musty smell, but I definitely know what you're talking about. But I mean, if anybody has a good suggestion for a view from here, and by the way, welcome. I love the flags, by the way. I'm not sure. You actually have open top boxes, but you need containers for postcards. I guess you're talking about. Oh, of course you don't. 6 Court, the only store in my area. We're talking about postcard storage, Kelly. Ooh, you know what? Hang on, guys. I want to show. Now that Kelly's here and John's eating his dinner. So 1 second. Is this what you're talking about, guys? I use these all the time. I know that's not a hole. That's just my green screen. Is this a Sterilite? I don't know what the brand is, but these things are fantastic. I'm assuming postcards for them. I use them for all kinds of stuff. This is CDs in this one, but and cassettes. But these things are awesome. They're airtight. They keep the dreaded mildew, musty smell from coming into play. But those things are great. Did a lot of print ads and stop and have not done or listed more. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, no problem. So you just haven't listed them. I thought you meant like you have 80 or whatever number you said and you haven't done anything with them. You just mean you haven't added to the 80, right? Maybe it's time to take a look. That's not that many. You can kind of hopefully the shows are a little bit inspiring. You can think of maybe new keywords for them or something, or check the categories that they're in. Musty from the dancing. That's funny. Lori says, people are always asking about your California accent on the phone. California has that very generic, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how you would describe a California quote-unquote accent. Vintage fragrance. That's hysterical. And only the Canadians with the U in odor, like the Brits. Oh, do we? You're getting a 10 for 8 at Walmart. I guess WM. I'm getting better with all these stupid little acronyms. I'm assuming WM is Walmart. Residual aged paper scent. Well, you saw my crafty way of saying that the paper turns brown is age toning. So you need to think along those lines when it comes to describing if the paper has that musty, nasty smell. I definitely think mildew is a deal breaker, though. I would not put mildew smell because mildew is actually deadly. So you probably don't want to highlight that in your ad. Make sure they are the square bottoms. Well, my Walmart has the round bottoms that don't work well. Mine is square, right? Is this a square bottom, guys? I figure we'll show a real life example. I guess that has like a little rounding, but it has like little plastic like notches at the bottom. You see that? So they still I could stack up, 10 of these high. Nice, Mark. Yeah, that. Mine have a round bottom, not so far. Authentic advantage. Yeah, I figured everybody would come up with original ways to say that. Kelly is so right. The rounded quarters will wreck the cards. I do use a 16 quart Sterilite for mainstays for when I buy big lots, or just a place to put them. Cool. Dawn. 8 inches wide, rounded corners that matter, I guess. Okay. Oh, you have 5 or 600. Cool. Yeah, that's a nice quantity. Lori says she saves all the silica packets from everything and throw them in your crates. Ooh, to absorb moisture, right? Hey, Rutin, what's going on? Old book smell. Rutin, did you get your goodies? I'm checking in to make sure. I've been like a fiend on whatnot, making sure everybody gets their stuff because even the Paperpalooza stuff, which is 6 days ago now. Almost everybody I sent out was delivered by Tuesday, and then there was a handful that were just like in limbo where it said like it's sitting in the post office. It was really aggravating me. I don't remember if yours was one of those, but most everybody has theirs now. John uses 8 inches open wide boxes. He has the length of the M's. Oh, very cool. Yeah, the links are awesome. Right. 50 for 50. That's a beautiful thing. Cameron says, musty smell is what I say. Do you really? You say musty? Not sure if it's vintage. Welcome aboard. Gently dusty aroma. Yeah. Just a touch foul. How about that? Nicotinus to save space. Californians have a gnarly rat. Yeah, exactly. But that's, that's California's such a huge state that, I think that's like a Southern California thing. And then San Francisco, they say something else. And Northern, they say something else. So. All right, we're talking storage still. You got your pamphlets yesterday, but I think the app went goofy and didn't let me finish my reading. I hope it was favorable. Rutan, did you see? I was showing everybody earlier in the show. They added that shipping time component to the your profile page now, and it says mine is ships in 1 day, which is pretty cool. But I appreciate it. I'm glad you got your pamphlets. Hope you make some money. You have a whole closet full of large magazines, stacks and stacks. You paid $5 at an auction. Beautiful. Get to ripping them. Would be nice to the cardboard over top, but those are crazy prices. Yeah, Texas, of course, one of the accent capitals of the world. Everyone has an accent. There is no pure language of any kind on this planet, actually. Thanks. You like aroma. Gently vintage musty aroma. Vintage aroma is actually not a terrible combo. Vintage aroma. I think musty has, connotations, bad connotations, if I'm saying that word right. All right, let me pull up this thing again before we lose it. Bam. Anyway, mother of all print ads right here. This is what you want. Vintage aroma, but does not stick. So we have our Camel, we have our cigarettes, we have our GIs hanging out on the battlefield. All laughs. It's good times. We have a tank rolling, plowing over a huge pile of wood. We have a dame down low waiting for her boys to come home. And then we have the very interesting thing. Look at the extreme bottom right of this ad, everybody, under the word camels. It says the T-zone, where cigarettes are judged. You have the scent, you have the mouth, and you have the burning or lack thereof within the throat. I think it's hysterical how they would praise cigarettes. One of the funny ads you'll see all the time is doctors lighting up. Dr. Smith says, I only smoke Camels. Talk about irony. It's peanut time, everybody. Yes, exactly. Easy on the throat. Mild levels of cancer. Well, this is an extraordinary ad. So we have Camel cigarettes. We're going to try this like Kelly was saying about the statistics and stuff. And let's let it ride in here for a bit. See how it does. If it does well, I might migrate a portion of my World War II ads across the board into this category. Especially if they're not a super huge brand, we had, like I said, really big ones tonight, Coke and Campbell's and all this stuff. So I want them to be in the Coke ads. But this other stuff, and this one too, Camel's is big, but lesser known brands is something where people might not necessarily search for that brand too much. Like, for example, I have a Van Heusen shirts or something. Maybe something like that I'll stick into this posters and print World War II and try to capture that huge community of people that collect World War II stuff. Anyway, anybody see anything? We're going to definitely put a tank. I like the word fighting engineers. That's kind of cool. I think CJ mentioned that. First in the service. Yeah, the girl at the bottom, it says, Camels taste so much more flavorful and they're so easy on my throat. I'm getting ready to choke, Jeff. It's coming. Peanuts or pretzels will always make me choke. This is where we bang out the Deer Pockets good water. You guys can set your watch to it. Don't try to eat and talk. Mom always told you, right? As we discard what's left of this little mocha frappuccino, we move on to Aqua Deer Park. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to start with what I think is the most appealing. I'm definitely going to put a tank first. What was the word first? In service. I like that. And then the other big one was, I don't know if we'll fit it. Fighting engineers I love. We're not going to be able to fit all that. So we're going to put fighting engineers. We have 11 characters. The T zone is like the taste zone is what it's saying, Rootin. Yeah, Arnold Palmer. Everybody endorsed cigarettes. That's one of the most popular items. Is Groucho Marx. Like so many people, and it's always sad when you see certain people who ultimately died of emphysema. You know, plugging away for cigarette ads in the 30s and 40s. It's kind of sad, but it's just the way it is. They claim they didn't know. Fighting engineers. How about just the good old soldiers? I'm assuming for those of you who might not, those of you who may know or may not know, is this the army? I would assume these are army soldiers. In that case, I would probably put army. I don't know if we'll fit soldier. Yeah, if it's soldier, shoot. Army. I might just leave it at that. But a killer ad right here, you know, so many things, many different things going for it. Camels, soldiers, a woman in there, the T-zone, the tank. The image of the tank is so cool. Look at it. It's like flying up in the air, rolling over some fence or something. Really no match for a tank, a wooden fence. Wasn't much of a challenge for the tank. All right, I'm going to let this one rip too, and I'm very keen on this category. Try to remember this, everybody. And do look out on Wednesday. I'm going to try to stick to the Wednesday. I like the Wednesdays. Wednesday is a very hot night for YouTube. For a lot of people we follow are all on Wednesday nights, but I'm doing a whatnot at 6. Presumably, I'm going to stick with that. I did well last week. So I'm going to try to stick with Wednesdays at 6. I might move a second day if, you know, the popularity increases or whatever. Maybe I'll do 2 days a week, but I'm going to just be consistent with the Wednesdays at 6. And this Wednesday at 6, I'm going to do World War I era ads. But here's World War II, which is the mother of all for me. All right, we will list this one. We still have some left. It's 7:40 here in the East. Oh, this is the first time we've seen this pop up, but I want to show everybody. Hopefully you can see it. Got the little warning about Hitler. Don't say Nazi, don't say Hitler. Items related to Nazi Germany, including items that portray a swastika, are banned in a number of countries where eBay does business. If you're listing such an item, please take a moment to familiarize yourself with the guidelines. Well, the good news is this makes no mention of a swastika. But you know what's messed up? My screen is now frozen. Why can I not pull this down? Hold on. Because it's too big. There you go. See that? Here's the dreaded warning. Obviously, because we're in a World War II collectible category. But I have no fear. We don't have a swastika. You got to watch out for Hitler, too. Don't put Hitler in your listing. Don't put the word Hitler in your listing. So we will continue. And the eBay gods should be kind to us. There we go. But you'll see that a lot when you're doing the World War II stuff. But this one, obviously, because of the category we're in, posters and prints, militaria. All right. Moving right along. But that was a really good ad, everybody. Oh, we just sold a 1948 Borden's Eagle brand milk ad. Yay. During the course of the show. So it's good to know the sale is working. I love it. I just need 2 more bits of feedback to hit 1,000 on eBay after 5 years almost. People stink at feedback. I don't think it's as important as it used to be, honestly. The number isn't that important, but it's a psychological thing. It's a hurdle you'd like to cross if at all possible. You know what I mean? Just as cool. And you get a different color star, too, which I'm excited about. Yeah, Dylan, thank you very much. Please do hit the like button. I hope you're enjoying the program. I'm enjoying having everybody here. It's a lot. It's always a ball. And these are just some really cool, fun ads to work with tonight. Alrighty. What's next? Moo, says Lori. Yes, for the for the milk ad. Thank you. It's like, you're doing all right, Lori? All right. Got a lot of cool ads, guys. We really do. This one's out of control. CJ, you back in the building? Please just give me a yay or nay. I want CJ to see this one. There's certain ads. It's so funny with the viewers that are on all the time. You know, Dawn, Win a Crow. There's like certain ads I always want to show them. Lori, to an extent, always want to show them. And then there's like the CJs of the world that I know will like certain things. I want to show them those ads. Rooting for Relics. I want to show him certain ads that I know he'll dig. Congratulations, Swamp Picker. Yeah, it's taken me. This store has been out since April of 17, so it just passed 5 years. Ridiculous. CJ is here. All right, brace yourself, CJ. This is a good one. CJ is gonna dig this. I mean, bam, bam, bam. Look at this. Building fast and building well for Liberty. You got the Liberty Bell. Ding, ding, ding. You got a massive scene here of, what is that called? Anti-aircraft gunnery. I mean, come on. I've talked about this many, many a time. Yeah, I figured you would. I love this one too. It's so sellable, everybody. Remember, the vast majority of the people that buy print ads, either they just collect, in this case, a Pontiac, let's just say, right? They collect Pontiac, or they collect cars, or they collect, in this case, World War II. A lot of people frame these things. You know, they put them up on a wall, or they display them proudly. And this one is truly worthy. I mean, look at this thing. And I love the fact that you'll see this all the time with car companies, Pontiac, Chrysler, Ford, everybody, right? Yeah, fire extinguisher at the ready right there. They all took part in the war effort and got away from building cars, and they used their know-how with engines and whatnot to, help build tanks or help build boats. You'll see ads for like Ford, and they were involved with like aircraft carrier machinery and things like that. So everybody, I love that part of this. It was the camaraderie, how the whole nation really, really got together, and all industry kind of put aside their personal profit motives. Well, not too much, but you know what I mean. They all contributed to the war effort greatly. Huge price on this one, CJ. I mean, it's got literally everything. You got the buy war bonds, which I love at the bottom. You have a stunning image. You have Pontiac. You have a Liberty Bell up there. You have this little line, building fast and building well for Liberty, to blast enemy planes out of the skies. And then it says, I'm going to have to blow this up because there's a lot of writing under there. I don't want to fumble over the words, but it's obviously a naval battle as well. It's an aircraft carrier. I mean, there's so much going on here. Does everybody agree? I love this one. Yeah, that's a top shelf ad. Doing right. You did not just you're going to get booted for eternity. CJ's here. AEF, American. Oh, just dropped my keyboard. Excuse me, everybody. What is that? American Expeditionary Forces? Rainbow. I knew CJ. Yeah, CJ would take it. Anti-aircraft. There you go. No rainbows. Save all the ad with headlights. Really? You like headlights? Cool. It is a cool one, Lori. I like it. Fire extinguisher. Absolutely rooting. Alan, when you say headlights. Premium price. I agree, CJ. We're not going to even post on right. Steven lives 10 miles from the only tank plant in the United States. Interesting. You are. That's true. Jay Smith saying it equals world. Here we go again. Just like Doughboy. We're having some controversy here in the chat. Hey, Kristen, welcome. Roll Squirrel. Kristen, check her out on YouTube. Check her out on, hopefully, Whatnot again, right? Good to see you, Kristen. Popeye uses AEF in his titles. Interesting. Okay. Hey, Marketplace Boutique Jody is here. Welcome. We missed you too. Hope you had a good week, Jody. I don't know if this is your style, but a lot of people are digging this, and they're very popular type of ads, World War II era ads. I've talked about this since I've been on the air, and I don't think, I might be wrong, I don't think we ever did a show with World War II ads, so I wanted to rectify that and kick it off with a bang, so to speak. Haha. Just sold a half-page ad, 1953 AMF. Awesome, man. Yep. Don't judge an ad by its size. It makes no difference. The vast majority of them are going to be full pages like this, but you can absolutely. I sold another square inch ad today, guys. I think it was like $9 or $10. One of those really old ones in the back of a magazine. You'll often find those really tiny little ads, almost looks like a classified section of a newspaper, like that kind of size. Sold for $10, a square inch ad. So do not neglect the back of the magazines and those little guys. They will sell just as well. Just be honest and obviously say what the size is. Put the dimensions in your listing, and you'll make out great. Oh, no problem. No whatnot scheduled. That's all right. You're very busy with your bins and stuff. I'm still waiting for that video. Where's the best of the bins video? And Rose Squirrel will be on with me and Travis in 10 days now? A week from Monday. Rose Squirrel will be our guest. Looking forward to that very much. AMF, I thought that was a bowling alley. There she is. Yeah, absolutely, Jody. All the time. If you look at my store, well, I don't know if you guys have, I don't promote my store necessarily, but I'm not shy of it. But if you check out my store, you'll see tons of them. And we've listed them many times on these listing shows. Yep. Swampy. Absolutely, Dreamy buys. All day and all night. You don't have to be full sizes. What about the old wrecked up comics with no cover? There are ads like Count Dante. I don't know anything about comics personally, Rutan, but if they have ads in them, absolutely sell them. Somebody asked, what was the other thing that they asked me? Even John Popeye said he sold during Paperpalooza a series of dental books. He had acquired a bunch of dental magazines. I don't know if they were magazines or like reference books, but anyway, they had tons of dental advertisements in them, and he sold them out on Whatnot, and he said he did well with them. So just about any catalog, anything you look at, if there's ads in them, absolutely. But I'm sorry, I don't even know who Count Dante is. I really don't know anything about comics. But yeah, if it has ads, sell them. Sea Monkey ads, there you go. Yeah, exactly. If comics have ads, sell the ads. Unless you like the comics, because I know comics are so hot right now. That's not something I would carve up like I carve up the magazines with, sight unseen, because I'm not going to carve up some comic that's worth $500. You some of the sea monkeys. Yeah, I used to have sea monkeys too. I think everybody's had sea monkeys. Super excited to be on with you guys. Yeah, I can't wait. Really, that's going to be a lot of fun. And we will, I'll circle back with you, as they say in business, Kristen, this coming week. Okay, we'll get some particulars in place for, I'll give you the details and all that. But I really am looking forward to it. That'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully you'll be home. But even if you're on the road, that might make for a really fun show, actually. Thank you, Dawn. Yeah, that's the eBay store. If you guys want to check out all the groovy items. Thank you, Dawn. Absolutely, Jay Smith. Again, I have hundreds of them, and we've done listing shows. I had a whole show. In fact, maybe that'll be next week. You might give me an idea. Maybe next week we'll do all smalls, as they say. We'll do all like 5x7 or smaller ads, and I'll show you guys just how popular they are and just as sellable as these big. Now, this is a mother of all. I said that the other one was the mother of all ads. This is truly the mother of all ads. This Pontiac is a beautiful ad. Can't go wrong. But let's just say for fun, if this ad was a quarter of its size right now, like sometimes you'll see four ads that are like 5x7 on one page, especially really old magazines that from like the teens and the 20s, you'll see that more often. But as time evolved and now we're in World War II, you got a lot more color graphics and just more exciting imagery. They go to the full page. But if this ad was a quarter page, I would sell it just as quickly and for just as much money. But the selling point for these bigger ones is I always have that verbiage in my description, perfect for framing or something I put up like that. And this guy is definitely, it's like I said, it's a small poster, really, Count Dante. Sea monkeys equals brine shrimp. Never look like. Yeah, I know. Throw them on the grill. Yeah, carve them up, man. Seriously. A lot of money in those magazines. All right, let's give a gander again at this. I mean, where do we begin here? We got the anti. Should we put aircraft carrier? Should we put? Is it an aircraft? Why am I saying aircraft carrier? I think I'm saying the wrong word. Anti-aircraft, not missiles. Anti-aircraft. Anti-aircraft machine guns. What's the some? You guys tell me. What's the proper way to term this? Would you say? It's just such a beautiful ad. I want to make sure it's worded properly. Don, the auction professor, welcome aboard. Great to see you. Major mentor of mine. Yes, print ad day. Every Friday night, Don, I do pretty much every Friday night. We do listing shows, and most of the time it's print ads, but great to have you. Welcome. Feel free to contribute any way you see. This is a fantastic ad. This is a World War II. We're dealing with the 1943 Saturday Evening Post magazine. Yes, everybody, big welcome to Don. Chicago ad from the 1880s. There you go. Thousands of ads is tens of thousands of dollars, Stephen. Again, they're not going to sell overnight, most likely, as I've alluded to in the beginning of the show, but AA guns. Here we go. See, I'm looking for some, yeah. Anti-aircraft battery. That's awesome, Rutan. A deck gun. Anti-aircraft guns. Yes. Is that right, Mark? All right, let's use some of this terminology. It's great stuff, guys. What you think AA guns is suffice puttings to save space, or should we spell it out? Indeed, they are, Don. I've built the basis of my entire channel is on this. That's my niche. Yep, super cheap. A little elbow grease to pull them out of magazines and stuff, but it's time well spent. The ROI on these things are insane. Like I have this guy up for like $25, $29. And if you broke it down, this specific ad probably costs less than a nickel. AAA. Navy combat. Yep, definitely a naval scene. It speaks to it in the wording at the bottom to the naval. But I definitely want to get I mean, it's such a vivid image. They say, what's it? A picture says 1,000 words, whatever the expression is. And that's definitely true of this one. I couldn't even do it justice. But with that said, you want eBay to push out, based on the keywords we put in there, you want it to be seen. But I think the image itself is so extraordinary, it'll kind of sell itself. But I definitely want to put some powerful keywords. So we have to put Pontiac. Let's begin at the beginning. This is a Pontiac ad. But of course, there's no car to be seen. Again, these car companies were heavily involved in the war effort, and they would use their expertise for other products like tanks and aircraft carriers and boats. I think it was a Chevrolet. It was either Chevrolet or Ford. And some of my other magazines with World War II, they were building the engines that drove these boats. And obviously, you would never think of Ford as a builder of boats, but they did. Battleships and whatnot. I love the anti-aircraft. I think I should write the word. Does anybody agree that I should? Does everybody agree I should write out anti-aircraft? Under attack or under siege is good, CJ? I don't know. The bottom panel describes what Pontiac was making. Yeah, absolutely. We'll blow this up too. I wanted everybody to read. They're firing flak as anti-aircraft. Cool. We got to put anti-aircraft. That's automatic. Let's just get that in. Anti-aircraft. Right. And then I will blow this ad up so everybody can read. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here. So let me blow this up. Then we'll take a look at the illustration, which is also staggeringly phenomenal. Everybody, I'm going to bring up the larger version here. Share. Here we go. Take a look at this. Stunning image, Yes, Rolls-Royce absolutely made airplane engines, but so did a lot of the other, like Chrysler was involved. This one, it's Pontiac. But we'll read specifically what this is. But look at this image, everybody. You can even see some planes up here on the left. As Rutan said, look at this. at the ready is the fire extinguisher. I don't know if that's going to do a lot with that much artillery going, but this is a beautiful advertisement. You got the buy war bonds thing, which is always, like I said, a keyword I like to throw in if it's mentioned. But you can see what it says: to blast enemy planes out of the skies with the purpose for which the Orcaron 20 millimeter aircraft cannon. Excuse me. So there's a word: OERLIKON. Or Orlikon. I apologize, I can't really pronounce that. Now you got to be careful. It does say Nazi. Prevented Nazi crewmen, Spencer sink a Nazi submarine. So I'm not going to put the word Nazi, obviously. The word itself in a print form, I don't think is offending in any way. I don't think it's going to be given the kibosh. We're not putting, there's no sign of a swastika. There's no sign of Hitler. There's no word Hitler. But again, it's just, you got to be a little bit careful with some of this stuff. So they do speak about the word Nazi, but it's just kind of buried within the verbiage there. But that's a really cool, if anybody wants to look that up, the OERLIKON 20 millimeter anti-aircraft cannon is actually a good word to use too. Naval weapons. Prevented Nazi from reaching the subs, heavy deck. Can everybody read this? Is it big enough to read? Pontiac Division in general. And you can see at the bottom it says, now at work on 6 different war assignments. They built this. Okay, so Chrysler actually built those cannons. Aircraft torpedoes for the Navy. Another field gun called a Bofors 40 millimeter field guns. Diesel engine parts. Axles for M5 tanks. And engine parts for Army trucks. So yeah, they had their hand in, all 6 of those different war machine products did Pontiac. The flag is even kind of cool. And then you got the Liberty Bell, which unto itself is sort of a keyword. So it's almost too much to talk about. This photo or this, this illustration is just so striking. But like I said, I do want to get some keys. So we have the anti-aircraft. I don't know if we want to put in this OERLIKON, but that is actually the product that's being advertised, if you will. It's this anti-aircraft cannon. It is Rutan, actually, but it's under this guy's glove. It's impossible to read on the screen. I might go pull the ad and just see if we could read it, the physical ad. But there is a signature down here. Can you guys see this? You can probably see that there is a signature, but it's so faint and so small, I don't know. But whoever it is, that's stunning work. I mean, that is a heck of an ad. You can see the smoke, plane getting shot down, out of control. All right, so I'm definitely going to add the word cannon. Anti-aircraft cannon. Yes, Jay Smith, exactly. They built that. That's what the ad is for. It says right here. To blast enemy planes out of the skies was the purpose for which the Orcaron, 20 millimeter anti-aircraft cannon was originally developed. So Pontiac is the maker of said cannon, along with these other 6 products down here. Amazing. One of the better ads I've ever seen, actually. I love it. Sea to Air Battle is actually very good too, Mark. Lima Locomotive Works built Sherman tanks. Cool. Is that the factory you said is nearby to you? And actually, Don, I know Stephen lives near you. Did you know that you have a, what is it, the only tank factory in the country, you said, Stephen? Apparently close by. I'm sure you know if you live there. Lincoln made engine tanks. Yeah, all these car companies had a hand in the war effort. I agree, Jody, totally. The coloring is beautiful. Very vivid. The Hemi V8 came from an airplane. Oh, really? That's cool. I drive a Hemi V8 in my Jeep, which often gives me trouble, but we're not even going to get into that whole conversation. They didn't invent it, but built off an old design. Oh, okay. But that's the product that's being touted in the ad anyway, is that Olicron, whatever it's called. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of small. Yeah, everybody, big thanks to Don, obviously. Like I said, he had a huge influence in my whole reselling journey. And really appreciate him coming in tonight. Oh, you're welcome, Mark. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Go check out SM Postcards on YouTube. He was on my show last week with, it was actually Thursday last week, prior to Paperpalooza. Great guy. Jeff, are you digging this ad or what? I thought Jeff would be all over this one. U.S. Navy. Hey, how you doing, Kim? Good to see you. By the way, I know you're on the road. Did you see the good news I sent you for your whatnot purchase? It's finally in motion. I sent you an update if you didn't check it yet. Check it out. Great to see you. Yes. All right, let me pull the ad back up. And let's try to, again, there's so much to choose from. It's almost difficult to get, there's so many keywords. So let's try to focus on a couple of key keywords, if that makes any sense, and try to maximize the visibility of the ad. That's what I want to do. That's what everybody's trying to do. But keywords is maximize the visibility. I want people to see this one. It's too cool. But as CJ said, we're going premium. We're going $30 on that guy. Best offer as always. Remembering that it costs probably a nickel or less. All right. Let's see if, we'll share the screen. There we go. Pull it up. All right, let's put some keywords in. Let's see how much room do we have to play with. So far, we have anti-aircraft. I'm going to put cannon because that's what it said. And then there's just so much else to go. I agree totally. U.S. Navy, but like Navy battle maybe. Take a look again at a little wider view, but artist could be Chenoweth. Oh wow, were you able to see that closely, Dawn? That's impressive if you were able to see that. Like I said, I could pull it from my file cabinet. We could take a look. It might be worth it because whoever it is did a heck of a job. Let me just tell you. Naval battle. Yeah, I put naval battle, right? Jody, I always put war bonds in there. Usually, like I see at the bottom, it says buy more war bonds. World War II and World War II. Obviously, you're going to, World War I and World War II. You're going to see that a lot. I always try to get it in there when possible. Don't forget, we have the Liberty Bell up there, folks, too. Building fast and building well for liberty. Oh, you found similar ones. Good work, Dawn. Thank you. You know what I mean, guys? We have the Liberty Bell. I have Navy, but again, it becomes a point where there's just so much going on. You got to have anti-aircraft. You got to have U.S. Navy battle, air battle, maybe? Or is that redundant because we have aircraft? Or we could also put whatever that term was, Oricron or something. I don't know if anybody, who the heck is going to search for that, though? Realistically, who's going on eBay and searching for a Oricron aircraft cannon, anti-aircraft cannon? I'm not sure anyone is. But if you are, you found a winner here. How am I doing on whatnot? I'm doing well, Don. I do the print ads, obviously. I also did some vinyl auctions. I did a CD auction because I didn't see anybody else, or very few people doing CDs, and I have a whole video coming out about CDs because CDs are so dirt cheap right now. I obviously have many, many, many of them just from collecting since they came out. I'm sure you do too. And, everybody sells vinyl. Everybody sells 78s and 45s. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. And I'm going to try to start the bandwagon for CDs because you could buy them for $1 nowadays, used in good condition too, or less. And they're starting to sell on. I have some reporting I'm going to do on a video where I pulled some information from Discogs that shows that it's trending upwards. CDs in general, both in listings and in sales. So I'm trying to get in. I'm letting everybody know in advance. Go buy CDs, or if you have them already, sell them. But I'm doing pretty well because I'm focused primarily on these print ads, but I haven't been exclusive in the print ads. Like I said, I've touched on other things. The vinyl, I think I've done 3 or 4 vinyl shows. I did 1 CD show, and then the rest of them have all been, paper related, ephemera, print ads. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, it's a beautiful ad. Naval battle, firefight is a good one, Rutan. Let's see if we can fit that. Firefight. I'm going to be short. How about just fire? Fireworks. Fire is always good. An auction starting. Yeah, I'm doing buy it now. I don't do auctions on eBay. Almost never. Deal Finder. War bonds, like we just said, Jody, I agree totally. You'd add 20 millimeter to the title. That would be of interest to many types of collectors. Oh, yeah, the size of the gun or whatever. Perhaps. In fact, we have 4 characters left. You could cut cannon down to guns. You think? Does this have the same impact? Nope, I only do 1. That's all I've ever had to do. and they're all done on a big flatbed scanner, and they're at a high DPI. So they do, Auction Professor. Indeed, they do. That's been the majority of my shows. We just had that event last weekend, Paper Palooza, and that's all. Well, it's not all I sold. I sold 10 lots, and I think 2 of them were just basic ephemera stuff, pamphlets and photos and things. But yeah, I don't know if anybody else is doing what I do on Whatnot, and that's a good thing. You sell the best in CDs and ICP CDs, classical. Yeah, a lot of genres sell well, but yeah, classical is good. Any hard to find foreign ones sell really well too. Anything that doesn't have a barcode on it, which is going to be hard to find, but if you find a CD that does not have a barcode on it, they tend to sell better too. But yes, absolutely, they do well. Remembering, of course, that they're sourced at, incredibly low prices. So it's a case of, I'm not going to get $30 per ad on Whatnot. That's a given. But I might get $30 for a bundle of 10, and it moves them really quickly, and I have hundreds of thousands of them, and it gets product moved, gets them out. And then hopefully I'm trying to go back and forth between the YouTube thing and the Whatnot thing, and sort of cross integrating, so that people that find me on YouTube go to the Whatnot, and the people that find me on Whatnot come back to my YouTube and want to learn more about the print ads. So it works out well. I blow them out. I get great profit, great return. 10 ads cost me 50 cents. And if I get $30, I'm doing a backflip. But these guys are not going on Whatnot because they're too good. But I am doing a World War I era print ad auction on Wednesday. Interesting, Don. I thought classical would be hard to sell because they're so ubiquitous. Whoa, Canadian speak. Yeah. And you could just, anybody could do a search. I always use Discogs, but you could certainly go on eBay. Just look for, like anything else, do a little research prior to delving into something new. See what's selling, see what the most popular artists are, see what the most popular genre of music is. It's time well spent. What do you think, everybody? I liked, Don said 20 mm. Let's see if we can fit that. I mean, come on now. Like it was meant to be. We're going to put this back. This would apply to, everybody help me. You think this should be before anti-aircraft, or should it be maybe 20 mm Canon? Let me know what you guys think. Or do we do what was just mentioned about maybe whittling this down to just the word guns? So we have room. I think that's a good call. 20 millimeter. For classical, look for imports. The conductor, specifically German import classicals, sell far better than most. Beautiful. Before Canon, right? Hey, Karen, how you doing? Welcome. I changed it to guns just for the purposes. Hey, Kelly. Purposes of that's what I just did, Jeff. I put 20 millimeter guns. Look at that, and it fits perfectly. I mean, is that an ad or is that an ad, everybody? Love World War II era everything, but World War II era ads do really well. All right, so I think this guy is a winner. Like I said, let's see what happens with this category we've selected for this one. I think it's obviously appropriate. And, ooh, how silly. My store category, we will go to, what will we go to? We're going to put automobiles, even though it's not an automobile ad, but it's Pontiac is the company. And that's just my internal store category. It has no bearing on the listing itself. It's just for my own inventory. All right. That was awesome. Let's list it. Here's the pop-up. Items related to Nazi Germany that portray a swastika does not apply here. Abandoned number of countries. So again, just be smart. And if you do want to familiarize yourself, you click on that link, and it'll give you all sorts of information about what's prohibited. But again, we don't have anything to worry about. There's no Hitler, no swastikas. So we're going to list it. That one was a lot of fun. We have a couple like this, just so you know, guys. So hold on. Buckle your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride. But that one was awesome. Yeah, Don, thank you very much for coming in. And hopefully you're not going to be bombarded with questions, but it's inevitable when you know as much as you know about most stuff. You, you have a moment to take answer some questions. I appreciate it. All right, let's pull something else up. How are we going to match that guy, huh? Yeah, that's a tough one to beat. We're not looking to beat, but let's see. We have some more. Any battle scene like that one would do really well. And remember, everybody, I think I picked 18 ads out of this magazine so far. I have at least 30 other from the same magazine. So we'll definitely be diving into this magazine again next Friday on the next listing show with some more ads. I'll pick some more of these battle depiction scenes. They do really well. And a color one like that with that much graphical interest. Pull this one up. I think Don alluded to this earlier about GM. This is General Motors. You have so much going on here. General Motors diesel power, right? They built the engines. They built locomotives. So down at the right, this is a multi-threat ad. You have soldiers here. You have what looks like a tank, but it's some sort of truck, I guess. We'll have to read into this. We have a choo-choo train here. People love choo-choo trains. It's color. It's an illustration. It's war-based. So this is another, I don't think it's quite as exciting as the previous one, but it's another winner for sure. And this one has the benefit of the date being up there, October 16th, 43, Saturday Evening Post. Preview of tomorrow's power. So like we just talked about, these companies. All right, thanks so much, Don. I appreciate you stopping in. Have a good weekend. And let me know when you're sending me this video. I have your music ready. Going to be helping Don with a project he's doing for his YouTube channel. Have a great weekend. Preview of tomorrow's power. General Motors engines for, it says Cleveland Diesel Engine Division. It says Detroit Diesel Engine Division. And then it says that they make locomotive as well. Hey, Memphis Blazer, welcome back. So we have a cool ad here. So let us just, again, we'll start at the beginning. We'll put GM. We might put General Motors. It depends on the amount of space we want and the amount of, we're going to probably have a bunch of keywords. So let's keep it to GM. I think I'm going to stick with this category for a while. Let's let this one ride for a bit and see what happens. So then really all we need to change is actually nothing, do we? It doesn't even have a product. Beautiful. So we don't even have to change any of these specifics. I am going to put this to $24.99 though. I don't think, like I said, it's not quite as exciting as aircraft battles and fire and smoke and all that stuff. All right, so we're set. We don't have to change anything in our specifics. So we could just kind of have fun. Again, first of all, what is this, guys? What do you guys, it's some sort of, is it a giant plow or something? It looks like maybe they're building a road. Let's read. Preview of tomorrow's power. If you want a glimpse of how tomorrow's hard jobs will be done, look at the work being done during tough war jobs today. Such jobs as building airfields in the jungle. So they are building an airfield, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're witnessing right there. Then, of course, we have a guy. Can you all see him in the front? It was so dark, I didn't even realize he was there. There's a guy with binoculars. He's doing a lookout. They're in the jungle. Got this guy looking this way. Got this guy with the binoculars looking forward. You got guns going. Got machine guns. You got this giant tractor with like tank wheels. They are building an airfield in the middle of the jungle. Look at tanks and trucks and landscaping barges and patrol vessels and tractors and auxiliaries. You'll find General Motors diesel engines packing them all with power. So basically, they're building the engines for all these different products you see. And again, we got a choo-choo down here. They build locomotive engines. So you got so much going on once again. Steam shovel. There you go. Yeah, big steam shovel back there. A lot going on. Palm trees is a keyword, believe it or not. He's quite shirtless, Lori. So take that information as you will. But there's a lot going on. What do you think? GM does sell well. Absolutely, Jody. In general. And this is just, you got to kick all this up a notch. Like GM sells well, sure. But now you got World War II. Now you got, building an airfield. You got diesel engines. You got locomotives. It's just all kinds of stuff. You got machine guns. You got steam shovels. I mean, there's too much. There's too much in these things. We could have a 500 line title and it wouldn't be enough. 500 character title. Love it. I kidded you not when I said these World War II ads are phenomenal. This is why I like them the most. There's just so much going on. World War I ads are awesome, but they're not going to be nearly, it's, 20, 25 years before this, and the difference in technology is astounding. Like, they just didn't have this. I'm sure they had the capability to do stuff like this, but they didn't. They didn't do it in advertising. It was a lot more rah-rah, support the boys and all, but you didn't have these vivid the vivid imagery that you'll see in World War II. I think that's why this is a little more appealing. And again, it's a little more recent, and there's still plenty of people that remember the war. So all that, I'm just surprised he was in the ad like that. Really? He's in the jungle. Baby. He gonna die. No, hopefully he won't die. All right. Again, where do we begin? Where would you begin? We have airfield. They're building an airfield. That's just kind of cool. We have the jungle. So we will definitely put jungle. We put soldiers just for fun because soldiers are good things to put in. I'm not putting shirtless, Lori. Sorry, it's not happening. There's too many other cool things to put. Catch up with some. I'm reading my YouTube chat, but I'm not showing on the screen here. Let's get rid of the banner so we have more space, everybody. Sorry. We're doing some listing. All right. Let me catch up with some chat, everybody. We have Tractor by Jody, correct. Another belly grater, like a grater. Yep, we've determined that they're building an an airfield. You pulled great ads, making us stuff to lift. Oh, cool. Good, I hope so. CBs. What's a CB? The Pacific Theater. Don't know what that is either. Oh, is that just a term for the war in the Pacific? If so, that's awesome. Steam shovel, as Rutan pointed out. Yes. Yes, he's shirtless. GM sells well. It does. I'm surprised he has no shirt on. Why would somebody have no shirt on in the jungle? I mean, actually, it's pretty stupid with the, can't you drop dead from mosquito bites out there? In World War I, the troops only moved very little from the trenches to the Maginot Line. Lori's still all over this guy with the shirt off. Looks like a 50 cal machine gun. Oh, Rutan getting technical on me again. World War II Pacific. Yep, theater of war. Sure, I like that. Their army. Okay, yes. Army engineer in World War II. Well, we've already... What did we start with? Hold on. We have the jungle. We have soldiers. You cannot neglect the locomotive down here. Locomotive goes in. Locomotive is a monster collectible. Choo-choo trains, like we talked about. Locomotive. Locomotive. Engines I'm going to put because the whole ad is about how they made engines for all these different types of vehicles. Airfield is what they're building. So I think that warrants a word in our title. Do you guys think so? It also says diesel power. I probably should have had diesel in there. Can't fit diesel, can I? Yeah, that's what Steven's saying now. D-I-E-S-E. I'm short of digit. We'll get rid of engines. Locomotive, airfield. What did we just say? Diesel, I liked. D-I-E-S-E-L. I could put engine. Oh, I can't. Engines for War Machine, yeah. DSL, is that acronym for diesel? Dawn, that's very true. You could put VTJ. We've learned that the two map to the same word, right? Good old Annie. Rest her soul. I'm only kidding. I don't know where Annie is. Annie's just disappeared from the planet. Annie, I think, confirmed that VTG does work. Saves us, what? 4 spots, though. You did hear a voice. She's baking up a storm. She's decorating up a storm tonight, Dawn. That's how it's quoted at fueling stations. All right, that's interesting, Kelly. So we could put diesel engine then. I like it. What do you guys think? I think that's pretty killer. Again, remember the picture. So many people just buy visual, the visual stimuli. They look at these pictures and the pictures sell them. But you got to have some keywords in there, obviously, so it gets in front of people. But being that we're in this cool category of all, prints from World War II, military, this certainly applies again in this one. And it's just a cool image. Building an airfield. Look at that thing. It is a tractor, but it's got you see how it has a tank wheel in the front? And as Rutan pointed out, that's kind of cool with the steam shovel in the back. There's just so much going on in so little space. Kelly said that his clients are federal agencies, and that's how they're. Okay, cool. So it's a modern search term for sure, right? Which is perfectly fine, even though it's an aged ad, obviously, but it's a modern search term. And the person that's searching isn't in 1943. I love it. All right, I'm going to list this one too. Bam. There's the dreaded Nazi warning again. No swastikas. That's really all they're looking for. Make sure you don't have a swastika on there. And like I said, use your judgment. I've had several ads with a depiction of Hitler. It's not actually Hitler. It's a lot of the times you'll see it's just propaganda, obviously anti-Nazi propaganda, which is warranted. And it'd have a caricature of Hitler or Japan, Hirohito, with cartoons, with a guy with a bat beat them, and things like that, cartoon imagery. I've never had trouble with that, but I would never write the word Hitler in my title or in my description. That's all. Stay away from that. I would even shy away from the word Nazi. I think it's not saying. I don't think it speaks directly to the word Nazi being a no-no, but good judgment says I'm not going to write Nazi in my title or Hitler. They'll see the image. All right. Great work, everybody. Thank you again, everybody, for coming in and for contributing so much to this show, as always. I knew we'd have fun tonight with these ads. They're just too good. So tonight's Bolo, any magazine you can find from 1942, because we got in December of 41. So January of 42 through the end of 1945. Because even after April, which is when the war ended technically, you're still going to see a lot of war-related stuff, like The Boys Are Back Home, all that kind of stuff. So through 1945. So you have a 4 or 5 year sweet spot of magazines. Just pick them up. Sight unseen, pick them up. Look at the date and pick them up. And you'll make a lot of money. All right. This one's kind of cool. It's not color, but it still looks cool. Catch up with some chat before I move on. Andrew says, how can they stop you from selling anything from history? It's just obviously a swastika has a very, very negative connotation to it, so that they don't want people profiting off of such tragedies and stuff. I get that. We've discussed this briefly, but I was in 9/11. I was in the World Trade Center and everything. And I remember a few years ago when we first started on eBay, I had my original badge, to get into the buildings and stuff. I was thinking about putting it on eBay just for the heck of it, not to profit off of it, just to see what it would go for. And there was a lot of interest in stuff, and people didn't realize it was mine. They're like, "Oh, you're selling some tragedy." I said, "I'm not selling this tragedy. It's my own badge, and I'm here." But I got something from eBay about that. Basically, that's you can't capitalize on tragedy, which I thought was laughable, because if you look on eBay right now and search 9/11 or whatever, you're going to see tons of stuff. So It's just I don't know why or necessarily. I guess it's just to protect um, the masses from horrible events and things like that. Try not to capitalize them. That's all. Everybody knows what happened, and everybody knows what words and what people. Hey, Jeff. All right, go check on mom. Thanks so much for jumping in. Yes, that's a whole other conversation. Being offended. I don't even know if that's offensive necessarily. I think it's just truly. I mean, if you're talking about a swastika, it's a symbol of mass murder, so it's a bad thing. Even though they'll tell you swastikas were actually religious symbols for thousands of years prior to the Nazis. They kind of sabotaged or hijacked the symbol for no good. But whatever. You're right, Kelly. That's a whole kit and caboodle. As Dawn pounces in, I know. Yeah, you know what? And speaking of which, Dawn, I wonder if they have a page or a site that speaks to all those things, because there are a lot, and they keep changing them. They've added. We've talked about the Aunt Jemima thing about a year and a half ago. I used to have tons of Aunt Jemima ads. I had to pull them all down. Oh, they pulled them all down for us, actually. Certain things that as time goes on, suddenly now this is offensive. This is offensive. It's fine. Like, it's just always best to err on the side of caution. And anything that you think, anything that makes you raise an eyebrow, even like the silly. What was the thing we did, guys? We did the Crickle. I can't remember the name. Clicko. The old. This was like 1915 ads we did for a ginger ale company that was really popular, but it had an Eskimo guy as like a mascot. We were all debating on the show, should we say Eskimo, should we not say Eskimo? It didn't say Eskimo, all this kind of stuff. So those offensive terms, quote unquote, they evolve all the time, and it's important for us as resellers to be aware of them. That's all. But I really do think it's just, if it makes you raise an eyebrow, it makes you pause for a moment, probably shouldn't put it up. That's all. There you go, Swamp Pecker. See, that's what I'm talking about. Inspiration. Go find your magazines. If you see anything from 1942 to 1945, I'll even say 1946. Oh, yeah. That's all right, CJ. There's no, we're not scoring you for typing. Dawn right with, look at this. There is an offensive materials policy. An ever-evolving one, it seems. They keep adding things to it, so I don't know how up-to-date it is. Most people that are offended are Jewish, obviously. Again, I don't even know if offensive is the right word. Somebody had a great quote on Facebook. Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right, which is so true. Anybody could be offended about it. I could say I'm offended by people that wear purple shirts. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean I'm right. But offense is a relative term. I think this goes way beyond offensive when it comes to, atrocities and war and all that stuff, So that's all. It's not really offensive. It's far worse than offensive. I could be offended by people on Whatnot playing rap music and cursing. Doesn't mean I'm right. It just means I'm offended. So, Washington RS. Oh, we can't even write? Oh, he's trying to paraphrase, please. Yeah, even that, all of a sudden that's, come on. It's whatever. No comment. Everybody, things evolve over time, and that's fine. But Dawn was kind enough. Look at this, guys. If you want to check out the policy itself, which actually I am going to. Thank you for that very much, Dawn, because I never had that. I think I might bookmark it just for myself. So if there is ever a question about something that comes up and you're on the fence about it, maybe just review the policy. That's awesome. Thank you, Dawn. And just be aware that this thing is kind of an ongoing document. It changes as new things come up. There's a whole, like I'm just looking right now, anything anti-Semitic or any item from, this is interesting, actually. Remember what I just said about the swastika? It specifies, I'm just pulling up what you wrote, what you sent on, any item that's anti-Semitic or any item after 1933 that bears a swastika, because that's when the Nazis came into power and they, again, hijacked the swastika. So if you have a 1910 swastika, I guess theoretically you're fine, because there's nothing to do with Nazis at that point. So that's interesting. But anyway, you guys can all read that at your leisure. As Kelly said, that's a topic. That's a week-long series for another day. It is interesting, though. Thank you for that, Dawn. Good work. As always, Dawn Wright, always adding value. All right, guys, let's move on to RCA Laboratories, RCA Radios. Radio. was the king for quite a while, from the late 20s, not really that long, actually, if you think about it, from the late 20s until like the mid 40s, because if you guys have read the history of television, it actually was invented in the late 20s, but nobody had one. And then it would have been out prior to, I have a few ads actually from like late 30s, 38, 39, that talk about television. And then World War II kind of put the kibosh on television because everybody was so into, as we've seen, the war effort and all these companies and stuff, and the innovation for TV was sort of put on the back burner. The technology had already existed for 10 years before, more than that, 15 years before World War II. But it wasn't until after the war when all of a sudden they kind of came back, and now you had all these soldiers home and these families together and all, and TV explodes in the late 40s, and the rest is history. But radio was king for a solid 15, 20 years, and even during the 40s until TVs became, like anything new, only a few select homes had TVs for those first few years, and then I don't know when they always attribute the I Love Lucy show supposedly made people go out and inspired people to buy televisions. And then by the mid 50s, and almost everybody had one. So it's amazing how technology evolves. But this is really cool. So it's an RCA radio, east side, west side, all around the world. Radio brings them the sidewalks of home. Again, we have a portrayal of some soldiers hanging out, listening to the radio. Looks like a jungle again. In tribute to America's radio industry working together for victory. So really cool ad. I know it seems tame by comparison to these last couple with fire and guns and smoke, but it's still pretty cool. It actually says Army right on the little cot or whatever that is, the box that they have the radio poised on. So listen to a radio show or a ball game, something like that. Awesome. RCA radio. In here, and there's a category called like radio and utilities or something. So let's see. Yep. Communication and utilities radio. We're going to go into that for this one. And then I do have a category called radio myself in my store, eBay store. Bam, bam. And it's type for advertising print ad. Wow, they actually added that now. Original, this is a black and white ad, so I just write black and white. For some reason, it does not have its own little category, but that's okay. So this is the big laborious process is typing the word black and white. How exhausting. 43. Not modified. Theme is radio. United States, 43. Again, I'm going to take this back to 1999. All of today's ads are going to be premium because of World War II. Alrighty. Again, I see comments coming in, but I can't see them from this distance. So, policy, Dawn, thank you. The bots will take what down, Kelly? Is Iron Cross safe to keyword and or sell? I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not sure. You could try it. You'll get a pop-up. I mean, that's the good thing. They give you, if something, a really easy way to know if you might want to refer to the policy that Dawn put up is if you get the pop-up that I've just showed you for the last couple of ads with the Nazi stuff. So if you were to put an Iron Cross in there and put it up, if it gives you a pop-up, odds are, you might not want to waste the time of listing it. Yeah. Your grandfather was the first one in town. He lived to purchase TV. Everyone used to walk by his house. Oh yeah, yeah, I know, that's awesome. You see lots of the kids in the TV shop windows that they put like on a main street, and they're just like mouths are hanging open. The miracle of TV. Your pre-World War II. Oh, you're saying that? The bots probably would take it down. I agree, but it's per their policy. It says it specifies before 1933. So that would be, again, not that you want to get in a battle with eBay or anyone else. I try to avoid all that. We're just here to make some money, right? So is it really worth getting into like a huge battle and over semantics like that? Like I have a 1932 ad, for $15 or $20. I mean, I don't think it's worth it personally. I have a million other ads I could list for nice things like Borden milk, like I just sold, Elsie the cow. Is anybody offended by Elsie the cow? I wouldn't be surprised. And Jody agrees. All right, so here we are. RCA Laboratories. Radio. RCA does stand for the Radio Corporation of America, by the way. East side, west side. Let's see if it mentions what they're listening to. Sure enough, that's a New York announcer giving the football scores. Yep, so it's a football game. I'm going to throw that in. They'll listen to a football game. So we're going to put Army, U.S. Army. It says it right there. Football game. Anybody see anything else really noteworthy here? This is like an image at the bottom of science smashes at the axis. The RCA lab works. It's a lab worker creating radio tubes or something. It does mention the war bonds. Your purchase of war bonds will help supply American fighting men with the world's finest equipment. Vegans will be offended by Elsie the cow. There you go. Not sure what's meant exactly. Yeah. So this is really cool. Watch the football game. They're all wearing shirts. I know. What a novel idea, huh? Sorry, Lori. See, Lori's not buying. She was going to buy the other one because of the shirtless guy, but now she's like, nah, this one's no good. That's hysterical. Anybody say anything else noteworthy in this image that we can put in the title? I could do, I got to see how many characters we have to play with, but I could definitely do war bonds. I always like to do that. But if anybody else sees anything else, let me know. Putting war bonds. I'm going to jump the gun here, so to speak. War bonds. Tube radio, says Rutan. I guess so. All radios obviously were tube at that point. There's no solid state. I'm just reading some of this wording. Every day the radio manufacturers, they're listening to a football game. Military radio equipment. I'm just looking for like words. Their war production experience added to the manufacturing skill is affecting important technical advances. Improvements that will bring you far better radio products when the days of fighting are over. I could put buy war, like I usually do, is buy war bonds. Is it a shortwave set? I don't know. It's a good question. If anyone wants to do any digging and type 1943 RCA radio, shortwave radio, I'd be happy to pull the picture up again. It doesn't say that, the wording itself, Stephen, in the body of the advertisement. It just says they make huge delivery of military radio equipment. Maybe we'll put military radio. Or ham radio says not sure if it's vintage. This is like, I don't know. I think it's traditional radio. They're listening to a football game. And they're listening to, maybe it is a ham radio. Because think about it. If they're out fighting in a jungle or whatever, how are they listening to a football game in America in 1943, right? You see the kind of things that come up on these listening shows? It really is cool. It's so educational. Yeah, war bonds were to fund all these expenses to fight the war. Military radio. Should I put military? I don't know if we have enough space. Let's see. Nope, I'm short one. Yeah, I can't spell it anyway. Hey, Munchkin, what are you doing? What are you doing? As our puppy makes an appearance, but I'm not going to do the gimmick of pulling up the puppy for the camera. So everybody goes, "Oh, puppy!" It's a gimmick, everybody. I'd throw either soldiers or military. Don't I have soldiers? No, I don't. I have U.S. Army. CJ had the right jargon on the war bonds. Yeah, I know. Political satire, that is. I know, Dawn. You're big on gimmicks. I know. You're right though. Soldier or what was the other one? Or military. But it would be the expense of one of these other. I could get rid of buy. Just put war bonds again, and then we could go military radio. It actually says military radio. That we kind of got everything. Sherlock. They say they were wireless sets, which most of the time refers to shortwave. Okay. GMTA. What the heck is GMTA? Oh, look at Dawn. Thank you. Thank God. Oh my God. Good morning to all. What is GMTA? Kim likes it. I like it too. Yeah, you hear his little tags shaking. I don't know. He's got a strange look on his face. He's like sniffing around the floor. Ah, now he went back upstairs. Great minds think alike. There you go. Write that one down, everybody. There's tonight's lessons. GMTA, courtesy of Lori from California. Well, even though she's in Nevada, right? Close enough. Same thing. Yeah, I didn't know the one. All right, awesome. Another one in the books here. RCA radio at a reasonable bargain price of $20. Downright bargain. What else do we have? It's about 20 to 9, almost quarter to 9 already. You see how fast these shows go? It's almost 3 hours already. It's like we're just getting started. Bachelor grew up in California. I've never grew up there though. All righty. This one I'm going to throw up. I often speak about, on occasion, depending on what's going on in the image for an ad, that the product can be secondary sometimes. Like it's more important. Not Elsie the cow because she's kind of iconic in the milk, but let's say it was just a generic milk ad of some or cheese ad, right? But if it has puppies in it, or if it has all these things we talk about, babies, or if it has Santa Claus, or if it has those things, kind of steal the show, and it's irrelevant that it's milk or cheese. It's about the figure or the very collectible thing, like a baby or like a elephant of all things. Elephants sell really well. Frogs, you know what I'm saying? Those kind of things. German shepherds. Well, here's an opposite. I'm going to pull it up. This is one where the ad itself, the product itself is incredibly well collected and expensive. And now you're going to parlay it with the fact that we have a World War II thing. So this is another slam dunk of an ad. Doesn't look vivid as the other ones because it's black and white. But he's looking for a U-boat in the sky. Hamilton watches. They would build themselves as maker. They were the watch of the railroad industry or something like that. I've had a bunch of ads of them for trains. They would like the official. It was a big deal, obviously, right, to keep your train on time and all. They would all use Hamilton stopwatches, Hamilton pocket watches. Well, this is a Hamilton watch that's now being employed for the war effort. So you have a U-boat being sunk. You have a guy up in the sky with some kind of fancy equipment with a Hamilton watch attached to it. So we're going to have to, again, kind of take a look. Well, first of all, it says this is a huge naval patrol bomber. So we have a naval patrol bomber right out of the gate. But Hamilton, everybody, Hamilton watches, huge with the railroad. They, like I said, they build themselves as like the watch of the railroad or something to that effect. Because I've had a bunch of those ads in the past, and they really do well, and people collect them. Hamilton watches. We do have a category for advertising, jewelry and watches. Makes it easy. Let's put my store category. Do I have a watch category? Yes, I do. Watches and jewelry. All right. And let's just quickly do these guys. Original Hamilton. Black and white advertisement. Printed. If you guys wouldn't mind, please give a thumbs up to this video if you're enjoying it. I have 18 We've had like 35 people in here. I'd really appreciate it. It just helps the video get pushed out to more people who might dig the content and then join us next week. I appreciate it very much. Okay. Hamilton. What did we say? What was the term? This would be a naval patrol bomber. So this is a naval. I mean, talk about built-in titles. And then the other one was a U-boat. I think U-boat would be a keyword. I don't know if I've ever used the term U-boats. Does it have a hyphen? I know eBay doesn't need hyphens or they blow them off. So we'll just put U-boats. See, maybe we should capitalize B? I don't know. You tell me, guys. Gotta get the U-boat in there, though. I see comments coming in, so let us see. Laura's in California. Awesome. Weta, you still watching? Thank you, Weta. Near you in Lancaster. Cool. You have many Hamilton watch items. High dollar. Absolutely. Aren't they called like the watches of the railroad or something? I mean, at least in this time, I know they always like sold themselves as like the watch that keeps American railroads going, something to that effect. You know, they hype it up with something like that. It was that little catchphrase. But that's cool that it's right there. I didn't know that. A bombardier, that's a good one. The guy is a bombardier, right? And Steven has them. You collect watches. Cool. Old ones like that, Steven? Thank you, Jody. Thank you for thumbing. Uh-oh. Hey, Marie, how you doing? Now, based on that last name and the question, are we dealing with somebody who has a family history in the watch business? Welcome. Yeah, please, always welcome to join the conversation, please. I love it. The more people that talk, the more people that bring up points, we all learn from them. It's amazing. I don't know if it's a stopwatch. That's a good question. I think it's a. I don't know. We'll have to read the body of the ad. Maybe they'll indicate that. No, but I do have. By the way, I opened the show with this. If you guys weren't watching, I didn't open the show, but it was brought up early on. Stephen brings up a great point. Rolex, specifically and Omega, advertisements are super valuable. You can look them up on eBay. Look up solds for Rolex watch, vintage print ads, and Omega. They sell crazy money. Even new ones, like 80s ones, they just sell very, very well. The waterproof ones, they have like one with like a Navy SEAL with an Omega watch or something. It sells for like $90. Some are big bucks. Yep. You think it's a regular pocket watch? I do too, but we'll take a look to confirm or deny. Speaking of which, let's do that. We have the specifics filled out. Yep. So now we can have fun with the picture. And again, I'm going to blow this up for everybody so we can read it so I don't get more of a sore throat than I already have. And everybody could read at their leisure with me. Hi, everybody. Let's share the big screen. Coming at you. The eyes are darting across the screen to give you the most quality content available. All right, there we go. Here you go. Hamilton, makers of the watch of railroad accuracy. That's their little motto there. Now making accurate time war pieces. Excuse me. Accurate war timepieces. Accurate time war pieces. Accurate war timepieces. And you got the war bond thing down there too. So let me see, like we were just asking about the type of watch, if it speaks to like being a stopwatch. It looks like it has the regular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 24-hour clock. It has a second hand. It probably has a stopwatch component to it maybe, but it looks like it's a pocket watch. Would everybody agree? Actually, we all defer to Steven because he collects watches. So clearly, if we have a question, you say hi. Come here, baby. Come. Come on, Daddy, show you. Come here. You want to see what Daddy? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Trying to get Sherlock up, but he doesn't want. Don't think it's a regular. I do too. Kelly, final card count on your lot was a little short of 3,500. They claim, but price per card is only 7 cents. Oh, you actually count? That's By the way, that's great. Great point. Don't always take it with a grain of salt when people give you a number. Sometimes, in my case, I've worked out the other way. Like the sheet music lot. I think I've spoken about on the show a few times. It was billed as 100 pieces. It was like 300 pieces of sheet music that we got for like $20. It was ridiculous. Poor old lady. What? Oh my God. Come on. Stay on. Yeah. What are you crying if you don't want to come on? It appears they have more functions if the small hands are real. Interesting. It says it's a stopwatch in the wording. Okay. 232 ended up being full of PA. Longer condition. Why am I killing you? Oh, for Sherlock. I know he's sitting here crying, and then when I go to grab him, he backs up. So a dog's life, as they say. All right. So Rutan saying it does in fact say stopwatch. When he snaps a trigger, both of these measurements will be recorded at the same time instantly. Together, they will enable him to make a fix and plot an arrow straight course to the objective. Once it took 2 men and 2 separate instruments to do this vital job. But in the air, space, and weight of precious things, the Hamilton navigational time and stopwatch. It's a time and stopwatch. You see that? The Hamilton navigational time and stopwatch. So talk about BAM. You know those words are going right in the listing. Time and navigational time and stopwatch is what we want to put in. Pull up my drafts again. Navigational. See, again, I have no way to fit all this stuff. That's the one bad thing when you have such a cool ads like this with so much going on. You run out of space really quickly for keywords. Hey, a new listing experience is coming. What do you know? Wonder when that's going to start. Naval Patrol Bomber U-boat. And then it says, excited to get all of your whatnot orders all at once. Yeah, Dawn picked up a ton of stuff from virtually everybody. Virtually everybody. I think she said early next week they'll be taking the truck over to pick all that stuff. The poor Canadians, they really do get the shaft with shipping. It's ridiculous. Not fair. I don't know what a sextant is. I got the last couple of paperless orders today. It looked like a lot more when it was packaged, but now I feel like a trip to the grocery store. Spent a lot. Very good to know, Callie. All right, guys, what do you think? We only have 10 characters here. So it is what was the wording? It's a time. I just had it now. It's so small I can't read it. It also says Hamilton is building such extraordinary, precise wartime. How about just wartime timepieces? The watch of railroad accuracy is that big. And it says, you're right, Weeda. It says Lancaster, Pennsylvania. 293 Columbia Avenue, as a matter of fact. Celestial. Ooh. Not sure if it's vintage, just throwing out some tremendous word. Is it a celestial device, whatever the heck this thing is that he's using to fight the bad guys? So we've determined it is both a timepiece. What is it? A clock and a stopwatch. Maybe I'll just put stopwatch. We already have watch in there, though. Timepiece. Timepiece. All right, I'm listing this one. As the host and owner of this channel and of this eBay channel, eBay page, I'm going to list this one. Kim with a tremendous combo of World War II Airman Navigational Timepiece. I like that. However, we've already gone with the rest. You could literally sit here all night, going back and forth with what words to put in. Again, I think the photo or the ad itself, the image, not necessarily a photo, the illustration, the advertisement often sells itself just by virtue of the graphics, what the topic is, which is World War II, what the product is. Those things all have such a huge bearing. You just want to make sure the title, grabs people, but you don't need to put every single nuance of everything that's going on, especially with these really more complex advertisements that have so much going on. Alrighty. I'm going to do one more because it's just about 9 o'clock. My voice is starting to go, and I have a big show tomorrow. Beatles show again. I'll give you guys the choice. You want to go Mack Truck? Again, old World War II. You want to go Firestone? You want to go Packard? Or do you want to go, I can't read because it's too small, some other sort of vehicle? So your choices again. I know that was kind of convoluted. Mack Truck, Firestone, Packard, or some other vehicle. Those are your choices. So let me know what you'd like to see. It'll be the last one for tonight. Watch Show on Wednesday is the only one I've been to since, and I am avoiding whatnot. Oh, thank you very much. Kim's the first one to call it out, Packard. So we're going to go Packard. Thank you, Kim. Ooh, Karen chiming in with a Packard, too. All right, but again, it says Packard, but don't you know it? They are building boats, 11 men against 500. This is a PT boat. Those of you presidential people will know PT 109, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. All right, Weeda, have a great night, and thanks again. I'm wrapping it up, too, after this one. But PT boats, Kennedy was the captain of the PT 109, famously got injured, hurt his back for the rest of his life. There's a whole book about that. I think there's a movie about it, too. But we have a U.S. Navy PT boat out on patrol. And then this poor boat is being ambushed by a bunch of Japanese fighter planes. It's all warships, it says. A column of 7 Japanese warships. So this is depicting some sort of battle. I think that the PT boat, you could kind of see the graphic here about how it can make these sharp turns and stuff, which obviously larger seafaring vessels were not capable of doing. They were made of wood. I didn't know that, CJ. PT boats are made of wood? Almost sound like Elmer Fudd. Made of wood. Packard. So let's put Packard in. Famous, of course, for making cards called the Packard. I'm going to throw this in our vault right here. Yep, the posters and prints. Because even though it could go in a car, the actual ad itself, there's no car imagery. It's all about planes and boats. And I'm going to put this in. Speaking of which, do we have boats? Ships. It's not ships and cruising. Here we go. Dilemma. Militaria. There you go. I have a category called Militaria. That'll fit nicely right there. So we'll do really quickly. United States, WW2, original. Militaria, US, not modified. Nice and simple with the specifics here. You have a PT boat sticker in your store. That's cool. All right, let's take a look again, everybody. We have, again, he's escaping an ambush of some sort by Japanese something. Rushing in for the kill, the tiny PT unleashed 4 torpedoes. Each deadly fish found its mark. The PT striked into a tight U-turn at full throttle and thundered out to sea again. And another Japanese cruiser went to the bottom of the sea. There you go. Welcome, Carl. Welcome, Carl. Well, we're going to put PT boat. We're going to put naval battle. What else are we going to put? Precision built power. And then again, you see the images at the bottom. It tells you Packard's making engines for all of these other things. It says Navy PT boats, a Mosquito, something bomber, a Lancaster. That's kind of funny. The Hurricane fighter, the Warhawk, and the Mustang. It says warships, naval battle warships. Welcome, call. I'm sorry, I was on at 6, so I'm going to be signing off in a second. Actually, this is the last ad, but we've been doing some really cool World War II ads tonight for the last 3 hours. So do go back and check the replay if you'd like. And I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more of these next Friday because I have tons. I still have a bunch we won't even get to tonight, and then I have like at least 30 other ones I could pull from the magazine. PT boat was a motor torpedo boat. Torpedo is a good word too. Yep, small, fast. Yep, and maneuverability. That's what we were talking about. Rolls-Royce engine, says Steven. I'm going to put torpedo. Again, as we always say, don't worry about like trying to make a logical sentence here. It doesn't matter. I want to put really important words to the left, basically, and less important to the right. Not less important, but the most significant one would be the first part of your title. Torpedo, and what's another one? CJ just wrote something cool. Maneuverability, speed, military contracts. I like Rolls-Royce engine, but this is a Packard. Does it say Rolls-Royce engine in here? Yes, it does. And into Packard built Rolls-Royce engines. Hold the phone. Get rid of Rolls-Royce engine is a mandatory Rolls-Royce engine. You tell I'm getting tired. Spell engine. Good call, my boy CJ. Oh no, was it CJ? It's actually Steven. Thank you, Steven. My other boy, Steven. Have I spelled Rolls quickly? Yes, Rolls-Royce engines. That's huge, actually. Rolls-Royce engines. Alrighty. 1949 is the old Z so far. The old Z. Oh, if your magazines, you'll find them. And if you don't have them handy, Swamp Picker, just go out and look. Here we go again with the plug I talked about earlier. If you haven't already, just check out my YouTube video series, 7 parts on print ads. And the first part is all about where to source some of these magazines. Ideas for sourcing opportunities, that's all. And you'll definitely find these things all over the place. I found so many of them. And they're dirt cheap. Most people think they're valueless and they just want to get rid of them, especially if they have that, as we discussed earlier, musty smell. But again, I shy away from that. I think it's a deal breaker for a lot of people, and you risk you run the risk, even though you write it, as we've discussed earlier. People don't read anything, and you get the one guy that orders one of these things and then complains and gives you negative feedback because it smells like it's 50 years old or whatever. So shy away from smelly products as a general rule. I think that you'd be safe. All right, I think we are going to let this one go. A lot of fun tonight. We got, I don't know how many we got up, but we got a decent amount. And here's the dreaded Nazi thing again. Yeah, Kelly, I'm hitting the wall here because I've had a busy day anyway, and then I have a big show tomorrow again, more traveling and all that. I have to sing for the world, 3 hours of performance tomorrow, so I want to be in good voice. You got to admit, you get a lot for your money on this show. 3 hours, and that's still a little low. The most, we almost hit 5 hours a couple of weeks ago, and it's not intentional. It's just the flow of conversation and all that stuff. We were at like 4 hours and 48 minutes. That's my long. And I guess the shortest I've ever done is probably 2. So you always get your money's worth. You get what you pay for, right? And your only cost is being my guest, coming in, contributing, being polite to others, digging the content, maybe even giving a thumbs up now and then. I'd love it if all you guys who follow me could reach out to your friends and family, and if there's anybody else you know that might be interested in this kind of stuff, spread the word about the channel. We're still Still trying to get to that 1,000 mark, folks. We're almost at 800, which is respectable, but got to get over that hump just for my own sanity. And I'm going to save this guy as a draft. Always finish with save as draft so you don't have to do all this stuff over. And put this guy to bed. Bam. Pull up full screen again. You can see the bags under the eyes getting black and blue at this point. Look at that. Holy cow. Oy vey, as they say in Russia. Glenn, you betcha. Yes, Stephen, thank you. Please hit the like button, guys. I think a lot of people have already. You got a lot done. You enjoy live. Something interesting to watch after work on. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much for joining me, Kelly. I think so, Kim, right? It's not really. Thanks so much, Karen. You too. Have a great weekend. I don't know. $0 for 3. Yeah, you're getting ripped off. Oh, it's an honor and a pleasure. Thanks for joining me. It makes it worth it. Thank you. You too, Lori. You too, Marie. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. See you on Monday for the regular chat show. Travis is still on vacation, so he won't be joining, but he will be back the following Monday, where we're going to welcome a special guest, Roll Squirrel, Kristen, to the program. That's on the 29th. But this Monday, it'll just be me. We'll chat. And then Wednesday, I will be on Whatnot, 6 o'clock, giving away some of these. I keep saying giving away because it really is giving away. When you consider the $20 a piece, and we sell a whole lot for $10, I'm giving away ads. So come join me 6 o'clock on Wednesday on Whatnot. You can go bookmark it. I have it out there. And thanks again, Lori. And everybody enjoy your stuff, your goodies that you got. You're very welcome. Thank you for contributing. Have a great night, everybody. I will see you on Monday night, okay? Bye-bye.